Summertime's coming up, and you know what that means.
A stinkier ball sack is on the way.
And if you're like McClay, not only do they stink, but you probably have been growing them out since November. But they deserve better.
And we're here to help.
The Performance Package 4.0 has arrived, and oh man, is it a game changer. Lawnmower 4.0 trimmer. You get the Weed Whacker ear and nose trimmer, the Crop Reviver ball deodorant, the Crop Preserver, the boxers. You even get a traveling bag.
So get 20% off and free shipping with promo code Bogcast at manscaped.com. That's 20% off and free shipping at manscaped.com with promo code Bogcast. Trust me, your balls will thank you.
Long-time listener, first-time caller.
Long-time listener, first-time caller.
Long-time listener, first-time caller.
First-time
Caller.
First-time caller.
After downloading the free Discord app, use the invite link in the description or scan this QR code with your phone to be taken to the Beyond Wednesdays Discord server.
First-time listener, long-time caller.
There you will see the Modern Comic Mayhem category on the left with the call-in waiting room. Join that call-in waiting room, set up your camera and your mic, and have your questions ready.
Call me now!
Did you see who the pilot was?
Was it like a model or something?
Yeah, female Colombian model that is just gorgeous.
Talked about as the greatest UFO video of all time now. Like,
Yeah.
the best footage ever.
Crazy, dude. Look at that. Yep, pilot captures were describing the best photo ever. That is crazy. Here is the model found, or that put that out. This is her right here. No, Colombian model claims to have captured what some are describing.
Was it just like her and a pilot or something?
Yeah,
Just
it was her
people in
flying.
it? Oh, she was flying the plane?
Yeah.
Holy shit. Just flying the plane with her fucking cell phone out?
It probably had a GoPro on it.
The following program deals with a controversial
subject.
The theories expressed are not the only possible interpretation.
The viewer is invited to make a judgment based on all available information.
I can't believe there's no Mudvayne fans in the chat tonight. That's pretty sad, man. That's pretty sad.
You can blame it on me,
Yeah.
like, you know, because I got to listen to that heavy music before we start, like, just to get that pump, that blood flowing.
Thanks for letting us get our session finished before the episode. As you can tell, it was a mighty sesh indeed. And I hope you guys enjoyed the music. For everybody that's watching this on the replay, you don't get the music. You only get the music if you watch live. And that's how we torture our live fans, by playing Mudvayne. So, yeah. I love everybody's comments. Comments like they were about to kill their children over it. Like, Jesus, man. So
Someone kicking cats and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Cats kicking people.
what's
like,
this deal with cats again, bro? People killing cats and stuff. Did you hear about all that craziness? I don't even want to talk. I shouldn't even talk about it. Don't even.
I haven't heard
I didn't
about
say
that.
nothing. I didn't say nothing.
All right.
We're gonna edit that shit out.
Yeah, I'll look it up on the internet offline.
Dude, that thank you everybody for being live on the Dinesh show. If you were there, you guys made that show fun. I tried my best kind of just to not really pay attention to the chat and just try and have a decent show. I hope you guys enjoyed it. It was nice to have the whole crew with us, there, and it was a really, really good show. And that was supposed to be like a 2-hour show max, like super max. It was supposed to be like an hour and a half, and then it turned into a 3-hour plus extravaganza where Red Hood ended the show by becoming a classic YouTube meme. We're gonna turn.
Dang, I should have stayed on. Like I went to go take a smoke break, and I was like, kind of like, well, I was like, I gotta go back to work in the morning. Like I was like, I'm just gonna like kind of watch it and then like kind of pass out.
Yeah.
And then I started seeing clips from Red Hood. And I was like, kind of like, damn it, I should have been on there.
Yeah. No spoilers for Guardians. I haven't seen it yet. I'm gonna watch it tonight. So I don't think
I haven't seen it either.
Yeah. So we're just gonna look at Rotten Tomatoes, check a score, do a little chatting about it. No spoilers. Even though I think
just get a feel of the
gay.
Reception of it, right?
Yeah. Even though I think spoilers are gay, I don't want to spoil it for people this early. Like it literally just came out. By the way, we are going to start. I think I'm going to start some of these shows this way. I think this is kind of interesting. Well, first I want to say this: you guys need to start You guys really, really need to start calling in, man. Like the Discord is here. It's ready to go. You guys can call in. And
you could be the historically first caller into the show live.
You
like,
could. And
yeah, I mean, I thought about doing it myself, like if I'm not on camera, but I was like, kind of like, I was like, I'm not gonna steal that gold moment for the audience member that's brave enough. Like, hey, I have a question that I want to ask either Bryan or Aaron.
Exactly, bro. Exactly. So that being said, I also want to. What else did I want to say? There was something else I wanted to say there. And it went right out the fucking window.
My bad.
I don't even remember what I was going to say. I was going to say something about something. But, yeah. Very interesting.
I'll just say, like, also, like, people have been throwing up different books throughout the, like, in the innuendo stuff. Like, I'm not saying to show that on screen right now, but, like, or just, like, any of the different categories, like, there's like some nice participation going on in that.
Yeah. Oh yeah, there's also a Discord chat room. You guys are correct. I mean, it's open on there. If you guys want to throw anything like links our way or anything, all you have to do is just go into the let's see here. I think there's a Modern Comic Mayhem live show topic thread. And we'll see stuff in here. Same with the comic drama alert stuff, community topics, all that stuff. But the call-in live is right here, and we're just chilling in here. And you guys, there's a link to it below in the descriptions below. As well as, hey, go help a brother out and put in a vote for my other podcast, the Bogcast. Good show coming up. Hey, check this shit out. I'm doubling it up. We got Dinesh coming on the Bogcast on Thursday, so that's going to be dope. But we're only going to be talking about movie making, so it's going to be pretty dope.
That should be really interesting, though, to like, especially to have like his perspective into the industry that most people wouldn't have.
Yeah. Also, you guys, what else do we got? We got interesting comic drama alert takes tonight. We'll see how that plays out. We're also going to talk about, we're going to go down a rabbit hole of pinup artists during Comic Drama Alert. So be on the ready. And yeah. Oh, yeah, I remember what I was going to say. Thanks for everybody that was in the live chat during the Dinesh show. That was also cool. I appreciate you guys rocking out and everything. Oh, I remember what I was going to do. Thank you, Stoner Moment. We're going to start these shows by checking out some comments on the last episode. So let's go check that shit out. Live. All right, here we go.
Well, that reminds me. I need to check comments on the last couple of shows I've been on.
Well, I figure like this might be better, you know, to say it while people like are watching, because most of the people that watch it live are also dropping comments, and I appreciate that. So here are some of the things. Fantastic show as always. Red Hood had me rolling. Shout out to Andrew. Great show. I've been sick the last couple of days, and Hood had me laughing. Sinister Titan, appreciate you, brother. So this is the Mr. Roboto post I talked about the other night. This is a great post. I don't need to get into it again. I appreciate him, and I respect this comment and where he's coming from. Make 500. Ooh, do we got a live caller, ladies and gentlemen?
Oh, nice.
Funhouse, what up? What up, brother?
What's going on, Funhouse? Mike, how are you?
He's got to figure out how to use the mic system, I imagine. Check this out. So if you guys want to call in on this, there should be a instructions thing right here. And the instructions tell you how to do it. Here's mobile instructions, voice chat in a Discord on Android. You can just click it. And then here's how to do it from a PC. It's in the live chat instructions. So I'll let you guys figure that shit out. Anyways, back to this. Make $575 per day. Thank you. I appreciate it. The Untouchables video game was legit. Train station scene was ahead of its time. From Mojo Pin, I bet. This was a great stream, a lot of fun, entertaining. Only problem is I'm Hood's 33rd biggest fan, and he never reads my name right. It says fight and code names. I'm probably saying it wrong. Is there some kind of thing there? Zombie Prophet, if you don't press your books, then CBCS is expensive for mags. Almost 75 standard and 100 priority with shipping. Just for one book? That's fucking ridiculous. Mr. Vanguard said, thanks, fellas. Excellent as ever. That's pretty dope.
I thought CBCS was doing a $25 special for magazines. Or is it talking about pressing?
I don't know. Maybe.
Mm-hmm.
If Dinesh had a better relationship with LCS, he probably would have to ask to get something made. Wouldn't have to ask to get something made. I understand that. I get that. Everything they do feels like a scam. Just because you made money off a 10 invisible comic doesn't mean you're not a scumbag for selling it. I don't think he's a scumbag at all. I think that anybody that thinks he's a scumbag is taking that a little too far, but, you know.
Yeah, I feel like he's just doing, like, commentary on what the comic industry is.
He's having fun. He's a comic fan. That's obvious. I mean,
he's a collector as well, too.
Yeah,
so,
yeah. I get where this is coming from. I mean, I understand that there's people out there that don't like him, but I don't understand why. I can understand being a little like, come on, man, it's a little ridiculous, but it's obvious that, you know, he's a decent dude, and he's a comic fan, so, you know,
yeah,
at least he's doing something.
Yeah, I mean, because one of the things I remember at Baltimore last year was just like kind of digging through back issues, looking up and being like, oh, hey, what's up, Dinesh? And then he's just like, hey, are you finding anything good here? And then I was like, oh, I actually just found this book, and it was the Animaniacs Pulp Fiction homage.
Yeah.
So it was just kind of funny to see him like actually like, you know, digging through books and like and it was exactly what he said he was looking for, like pre-code horror stuff, Silver Age stuff.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, he's you know, it is. Anyways, great fucking show. A lot of fun stuff. Thank you for everybody hanging out live. What else do we got? Yeah, it definitely, Rob. 100%, brother. 100%. 100%. So it's going to be a fun show, though. We're going to talk about Guardians. We're going to get into Guardians for a little bit. We're going to talk about Jim Lee. We're going to talk about titty books. And we're going to talk about pinup artists and whatever else pops up. I'm sure more people will decide to jump on at some point, and hopefully we'll get some people that call in. We're just kind of hanging out tonight. All right, let's move on to the probably biggest thing this week. All right, Guardians. I think that's obvious. Have you seen what Rotten Tomatoes has said for the movie yet?
I mean, the only comments I've seen so far was like, what, greatest Marvel movie since Endgame? Like, I don't know who quoted that.
I've seen a lot of 8 out of 10s from people.
Yeah, which I'm glad, like, a lot of the chats that we're in, people haven't been spoiling it. They've just been saying if it's good or bad.
Yeah.
kind of situation.
95% audience score. Damn.
Wow.
Is that common? Is that common? Chat, let me know if that's common for like a big movie to have just a killer audience score to start it off. That type of thing.
I feel like always the critics are always pretty harsh because, you know, they're not really big into the space, but then like whenever the audience score hits, I always feel like that's a more accurate representation of the film, right?
Yeah.
Because it's audience members that is geared towards. So
yeah. 81 for the tomato meter. I see people that have seen it saying it's very good. Voicey says, I'm seeing it tomorrow. Hope it's good as folks say. Stein was telling me that his daughter ditched him for her boyfriend to go see it, and he felt hurt. He felt angry. Poor dude.
Well, she's like she's about to go off to college too, huh? She's at that age.
Yeah,
huh?
I couldn't tell you.
Yeah.
But interesting Hot 10. Make sure you guys go check out the Hot 10. No real big Guardians books on there. Here's what I find interesting. I've seen a couple things where they talk about yo, can you talk into it? Is your mic working? No.
Hello.
There we go. What up, brother?
Oh, first time caller.
How you doing, dude?
Hey, listen, can I get 2 large pies with pepperoni? A 2-liter Pepsi. Do you have Pepsi or Coke?
Yeah, we'll be right on
You need a liter of cola? Liter of cola?
No, it's not called cola. It's called Coke.
I hear some people call it pop, too. What's going on,
yes,
brother?
they do.
How you be?
I don't know. I had a hell of a time getting on here, but I figured it out.
You did. You're the first person to figure it out. Do you realize that?
I mean, I had to play with the little settings, but I'm here. And don't forget to bring my pizza, too.
All right, brother. All right. Appreciate you.
Hey, listen, is it true that you're a closet do-you-poo collector? Inquiring minds want to know.
I think, hey man, I would if I could figure out which is the very first one, I might buy that one. I think that might be.
Yeah,
think
that's a good question.
Yeah,
I mean, I liked it when you were talking about it on Stein's show last night.
Yeah. I think that it's become just a gimmick in itself, and you know, I'm sure we're going to get into that a little bit during the Drama Alert segment. But yeah, man, I definitely. Again, I respect Marat Michaels. I think he's a cool dude. And then I think that it's cool when there's a couple books that are doing it. I just don't want to see every book turn into the same guts and a different cover 100 times over.
Well, I mean, there is a market for it, obviously.
Yeah.
He came up with something fresh. He ran with it, but I think it's ran its course.
Yeah.
But I think it's too late for him to stop now at this point, right?
I don't know. It's a good question.
I mean,
he'll stop when the money stops coming in.
I mean, he's been doing it for such a long time now at this point that can he stop doing it? You know what I mean? And then like if he does stop doing it, will someone else do a similar kind of situation to that? Like where they're printing the same book over and over again.
That starts anything is always going to be the one that's the most successful. So if somebody tries to come in after the fact and try to duplicate what he did, it's not going to work.
Yeah. Well, they're already doing it though, man. They're already doing it. Like you can see other artists doing it, right? I mean, that's becoming the go-to right now. So shout out. I mean, was Marat Michaels? I think might have been the first guy. Was he the first guy to start doing that? To come up with that idea?
Yeah, I believe so.
And
to use the same interiors but just change out the cover.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think so. He came up with a great idea. There's no work to be done except just do a new cover. That's it.
Yeah.
And then cherry picking every year the hottest cover, right?
Well, and then he lets other artists. Here's the other thing: can you only do poo on a Do You Poo book that has his guts? And when other artists do it, does he get a take in it?
Mm.
You know what I mean?
Oh, so that's for the rights to use that.
Yeah. Is he? What do you mean? What has happened to the audio? Awesome sauce. Does it not sound okay? Is it a little low? Let me know if it sounds okay, guys.
Me okay?
Yeah, we hear you fine. You were a little hot on the replay, so I just brought you down a little bit, but we hear you fine, brother.
I mean, like I said, I was playing with the different settings and buttons. I wasn't sure the right way to do it. And the reason I think I'm the first one to call in is because it's not very easy.
Well, you wanted a pizza.
As you say, it really isn't.
You wanted a pizza too, right? So.
Now I want 2 pies with pepperoni. I want a 2-liter Coke.
Yeah.
And let me get some garlic rolls too.
Yeah.
No cheese sticks?
You know what I used to say when I was delivering pizzas? I used to tell people when I would talk about delivering and stuff, and I would say, you need to tip at least $5 to every delivery driver that you buy from regularly. And I probably wouldn't say that anymore. I'd probably say you probably have to tip $10 because it's gotten so expensive out there.
I give about 10, 15.
Yeah.
Well, especially with the price of gas and stuff like that.
Yeah, dude.
It's $3.59 in Florida. What is it by you guys?
$5.
Well, I'm in Texas, so I can't complain really.
Yeah, $5, just under $5 a gallon.
Man, it's $3.59 here in Florida.
Yeah. Hey, Mike, thanks for calling in, brother. Stick around.
Yeah. I'm gonna go back over to the show and let's do our thing.
Yeah. And if you feel you want to jump in on another topic later on, you're more than welcome to call back in. See how easy it is, you guys. Make sure you guys give Funhouse Comics a follow on IG.
Yeah, and I'm glad he was our first caller.
All right, brother.
Yeah. Thanks for joining us.
Bye.
All right, let's continue on.
We'll probably be 30 minutes late or more with his pizza. So.
Yeah. But hey, man, if you tip good, like we might make it there in time next time. What were we talking about? We were talking about Guardians. A lot of people saying it's good. Guardians is good. Hey, that's another thing. How much is it to go to said Guardians this last couple days or today and yesterday? Probably expensive. How much is it to go see a movie for most of you guys?
It's at least like $10 just for the ticket, right? And then if you buy snacks there and all that, you're probably looking at about $20 a person?
Yeah,
I would assume.
Yeah, I've seen.
I still sneak in snacks myself.
Oh yeah, bro. Oh yeah. I've seen a lot of people talking about Adam Warlock. I don't like it. I hope I have a different feeling on it. Lewis says Guardians was good, not great. Rocket's origin should have been a special event. Will Poulter's Adam Warlock was terrible, and he was sidelined constantly. Ouch.
Ooh.
Damn. That's a
bummer. But do you think the expectations for Warlock were like really high going into this already? Like, just because like he's been Easter eggs so far throughout the MCU that that bar was already set really high that no matter who played him probably wouldn't have done met up to the expectations of fans.
Yeah. Yes, but if the storyline was good, for instance, for the people that have, this is a good fucking poll question. For the people who have seen it, you can also kind of answer this with choosing the right one. It'll also kind of give your answer. But I think a good poll question would be, let's do this. What's a good way to say this? Because I think that if you have Adam Warlock, where he kind of plays the comics role that he did during Annihilation period, I think that's what you would rather have rather than him being a bad guy, right? So I'm gonna play that out. Let's do that. Would you rather? Let's go. How do you spell annihilation?
Let's see.
Annihilation.
ANNIHILATION.
Boom. Annihilation Warlock as good dude. Or Warlock.
And for the chat, I looked it up. I didn't know that spelling off the top of my head. So.
All right, boom. Would you rather Annihilation era Warlock good, kind of like part of the Guardians team, or Warlock as a foe is the poll. See if you guys tell me what you guys think.
Oh dang. We get Brad's prices. 22 for Matinee, Premium 3D, and Kindle.
I can't do 3D.
Oh, but that's 3D. I never see 3D movies because I wear glasses. You know what I mean? Like,
it gives me a fucking headache.
Yeah, wearing 2 layers of glasses never helps me, so I always skip out that.
He kind of doesn't look that good, to be honest, man. He just looks like he's got gold spray paint on. I hope he looks better in the movie.
Oh, like one of those people that like street perform or whatever, like spray painted gold.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, if honestly, like, you know, if they were gonna do that, you know, like add a touch of CGI, right, to make it like pop a little bit more or something.
Yeah, dude, 100%, bro. I don't know, man. It just looks. Yeah, it looks weird, dude. But it is what
but they've had gold people in Guardians movies before too, and it looks like they added a little something, you know, just to make them pop a little bit more.
Yeah. Well, you know, there was also a couple things that I saw where, like, they said that he didn't look that good either. But I don't know. What do you guys think? Let me know what you see if you saw it. It looks interesting. Artificial. And how much of the movie was he in? Because somebody made a comment that said he was like fucking that one dude in Ant-Man. What did he say?
It's one of those situations where he's only like in the movie like 10 minutes or something like that total screen time.
Wilbert said Warlock was to Guardians of the Galaxy 3 like MODOK was to Ant-Man.
Oh shit. Yeah, so that's barely any screen time at all then.
Yeah.
So like 10 minutes was probably generous.
Yeah. Well, interesting stuff. What else do we got? Let's see here. He looks ready to glam rock. That's pretty interesting. That's pretty interesting. Makes no sense the way they played it. That's a bummer. Hey, McClay, at least it's not Tampon Man, huh? Hey, bro. When Josh comes back on this show, we're going to ask him about his 99 Tampon Mans. Where you at, brother? I know you're out there.
He's probably showing up late because he's probably catching up from our previous meeting before the before the show. Yeah. I mean, we're starting to go on a little bit earlier now, right? Or on time.
Oh, that's a great point. That's a great point. Hold on. I'm going to be probably starting the show either an hour or an hour and a half earlier. Matter of fact, let me make that a fucking poll. Wait, what are we at on the poll so far? 25 votes. 60% says Warlock as a good dude rather than as a foe. So there we go. All right, here is the poll. We want to, I think it's probably a good idea to start a little earlier, right? And just to help you guys out, 1 hour. 1 hour, okay, 1 hour. Let's start a poll here. How much earlier should we start? This is a good use of audience interaction right here, brother. I'm glad.
Chat Cave, I love his comment.
I know, bro. I know. Hey, brother,
you mean on time?
You're the one that's always getting wasted, and we can get wasted this time, bro, with you. So drink away, brother. Chad Cave is my Chad Cave. We need to chat. I need to go drink with Chad at a con by him one of these years.
Well, and then
I need to go.
And then that's Chad. Always a special occasion.
I need to go buy Chad. I get wasted. I get it wasted one time. No, I get wasted on time. Yeah, that too. But I definitely want to buy Chad vodka this time. So.
Nice. Yeah, it's always a special occasion to see McClay drink.
Yeah, I don't drink.
Yeah,
only when I'm hanging out with my friends do I drink. I think drinking is a very cool social thing if you can handle it, and it means a lot to buy a drink and sit down and bullshit with people and drink with people. I think that means a lot. So, fuck yeah, I'll do that, especially in special occasions. All right, how much earlier should we start? Especially with friends too. 1 hour.
Don't try to keep up. Don't tell me what to do. No, but I was talking to Mel, and I was like, and he's like, dude, you drink like a savage, anyways. I was like, I'm kind of like McClay. I don't drink all the time, but like, it's one of those situations. If I do need a drink, I can.
Yeah. 9 p.m. Eastern, so that would be about an hour. Maybe I set it ready to start the commercials at 9 p.m. Eastern. We'll see how it plays out. And then the people that want to just come and watch the music. I'm trying to get all this shit down. I hope you guys like the way the look of the show is starting to form and be better. I really enjoy it. So, yeah, it's good shit. All right. What else do we got? What else? Rocket's origin. That was a very important thing. Did they do Rocket wrong? That's what I want to know. If they did Rocket wrong.
Didn't James Gunn send out a tweet not too long ago, or today, with where it's like the Abbey Road album cover and it's Rocket throughout the different stages? They like seize this opportunity as a chance to put a name out there for themselves. Like, look at the start of Walking Dead, Breaking Bad, like all these classic TV shows that like we've all come to love. Like, there's got to be something that could potentially hit to that level of fan base, or so. I mean, that's the way I see it as. But at the same time, it's probably like standard stuff, like where they're probably underpaid, overworked. And so that's why they're striking to, get better rights.
Is there any writers out there in the chat? Is there any writers? Any writers of I found out last night, the Writers Guild Association. I was wrong. On my choice. But that's what I hear. That's what I hear. If there's anybody out there, I'd love to know their thinking. What else? Oh, all right, Jim Lee, dude. Fucking Jim Lee. See that shit?
Oh, yeah, that he's president now of DC?
I think that's what most people thought. They kind of threw us a curveball. Remember when they were talking to Joe Quesada?
Mm-hmm.
I feel like they kind of threw us a curveball for that shit.
Well, I mean, because I feel like Jim Lee's position beforehand was like, just like vice president of whatever, like just for, like almost like a... just like as in title, right? And then he really didn't have like a bunch of power of whatever he was in charge of.
Yeah. So he goes from being the head of just the comics division to now The president, El Presidente, Jim Lee. How many? How long? Over under 5 years on this. Over under 5 years on this, you guys. More than 5 years, less than 5 years.
I kind of want to say under. Like, for some reason, I have a gut feeling it's going to be under 5 years, or it's going to be like right at 5 years. I mean, because you got to figure he's also like close to retirement too, right?
Yeah. That's the other thing. Like, the job that he's taken is probably a pretty heavy load right now. Why would you want to do that at that age? Like, I always think to myself when I hit like when I get close to 60, man, I'm going to start thinking about what I'm going to do when I'm 70. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not going to be worrying about working harder. I'm going to be worrying about working smarter. Maybe this is working smarter. For Jim Lee. Is he going to leave the comic stuff too? Because he was he says he will continue to serve as publisher at DC Comics, overseeing all the creative teams. He will also spearhead efforts to merge the characters and stories from DC's publishing portfolio into all forms of media under the Warner Brothers Discovery brand. Fuck, bro.
Well, apparently according to the live chat, we like glitched out at some point in time of our conversation. But I wonder if that was just my computer screwing up.
What?
I have no idea, but they say it's normal now. But anyways, yeah, sorry.
All right.
Yeah,
let's know if it sounds good, guys.
Yeah. Well, I wonder if like they wanted to make it clear that like, hey, Jim's been here for so long, like, so that's why he's president, and then, with Quesada joining on, like, he's just like an editor or whatever.
Yeah. Well, Joe Quesada is taking over at. He's doing stuff at Amazon, right? Isn't he doing something at Amazon? That was the thing.
Oh, I thought he was doing something with DC.
They threw us that curveball.
Oh,
and then Joe Quesada.
Okay, so now he's doing something with Amazon now.
Yep. Boom. Let's go. Marvel's former EIC signs first look deal with Amazon. I think we talked about this a couple weeks ago. When was it? March 30th, so about a month ago. He will develop film and TV projects with particular focus on adapting comic book IP, including both new and existing titles. So,
do you think it could have been used to like leverage for a position over at Amazon?
Yes. Yeah. Yes. You got it.
Oh, and then probably like, being in talks with DC or whatever was probably his way out of Marvel. But then like using like knowing that he would never really do anything with DC kind of leveraged a position that over at Amazon. I mean,
how much money do you think he's getting for this? What do you think he's getting paid to do this? Chat, let us know. I don't think they say, but how much do you think Jim Lee is getting paid to be
easily six figures? Easily six figures and some sort of like shareholder options, and then like probably exclusive rights to like that he gets to own his original art and all this blah blah blah.
Yeah,
it's got to be pretty decent, I would imagine. Or I guess with Warner Brothers stock now, right?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Well, it's James Gunn, Jim Lee. The good things could be happening at DC. They could be doing exactly what we all hope. The cycle of life continues for DC. They were the comic IP place for years back in the early 2000s, and then they took a shit, and hopefully now they are back. We'll see how that plays out.
I mean, but to me that seems to happen like what every 10 to 20 years anyways, like where people favor Marvel, people favor DC, and then we're just in one of those cycles right now, right?
Yeah. Yes, we are. Yes, sir. All right.
easily over $100.
So hold on. I sent out a message to somebody to try and have them come on for comic book drama alert. Let me write a message back to them.
Uh-oh. Looks like we might be getting into that segment early then, huh?
We might be. We'll see here. Maybe not. Maybe.
Man, this is a good show so far. We've had our first time caller go in. Like, shout out Funhouse. And then someone might be joining us for their comic book drama alert.
We'll see. He might not be able to make it, but yeah, we got an interesting comic book drama alert segment that I want the whole chat to be part of, and I definitely want people to call in and let us know, what they think about it. If this is, I'm gonna try and do my best to have a constructive chat about this stuff, but we'll see how it all plays out. Also, real quick, I want to know if did anybody in the chat sign up for the Megalith Kickstarter? This is just out of curiosity. Like you seriously signed up for it because you thought it looked good, not because you're thinking about flipping it or something. I would love to know if there's anybody that signed up for it. I signed up for it. I jumped into the. I just wanted to get the hardcover, so I jumped into the hardcover.
Nice.
I don't know, man. We'll see. Shout out to Volsi. He says, start the show earlier. We will. 100%. Yeah.
And then Funhouse sent $1.99. Is that a sticker or a super chat?
That is a sticker. Thank you, brother.
But he's looking for his pizza still.
It's on its way. Yeah. We put in the order. The cooks are cooking it.
Yeah.
So you'll get it soon.
And I never worked for Domino's, so I never guaranteed 30 minutes or less.
Yeah. So we talked about Kickstarter 2 nights in a row. This will be the 3rd night in a row that we'll talk about Kickstarter. Rob says, did you guys not see the Max Headroom take over the stream? No, we didn't. Shout out to Max Headroom. But yeah, thanks for that, brother. Rob's my guy. No, we didn't. We'll have to check that out. That's interesting.
Max Headroom.
Yeah. Old school. Don't forget the secret sauce. I will not forget the secret sauce. And that all depends if you piss me off before. All right. I'll remember your fucking address, okay? I'll remember that shit. But yeah. All right.
Yeah, and if your driver doesn't show up with red eyes, he's in the wrong business.
Yeah. Russians were in this bitch. Yeah. Yeah, it was Marco. Good stuff.
I'm actually really broadcasting from China. If y'all really didn't know.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. All right. Let's see here. Get some other goodies here. Let me go get them. You pick up any of those Star Wars 34s or any of the Spider-Man books?
Are you talking about the Spider Boy?
Yeah.
issue 8 or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I saw I went to a couple shops this morning for free comic book day. I was mainly looking to see if they had any of the homage to Secret Wars 8, and I didn't find any of those. I saw a couple of the A covers, and I was just I'm not gonna get in the middle of that argument between issue 7 being a first appearance or issue 8 being a first full or whatever they're trying to say. Even though you've already seen CGC labels with issue 7 saying it's first full appearance. So I'm just that's for other people to decide, or I guess the market to decide. But yeah.
Well, 3rd Kickstarter of the week for all the Art Adams fans out there. He's doing a project. This looks pretty dope. I always love Art Adams' style and then his sense of detail. And this really shows it off with that fucking dinosaur. I know Mel's going to probably trip out with third night in a row. We brought up Mel, too, without him being here. Where the fuck are you, brother? Quit working.
I was
all the time.
gonna say he's gonna be the first one to sign up for this, right?
Yeah. Let's check this out. This is interesting. This is definitely for the art fans out there. We'll see how it sounds.
Hi, my name is Arthur Adams. When I was about 13 years old, I decided I wanted to draw comic books. Fortunately for me, I've been doing that for about 40 years now. And we're putting together a book. This book is going to collect my work from when I first started at Marvel Comics.
Bro, I love Art Adams, but that music is not. You shouldn't have used that.
Yeah, I don't hear anything, but hopefully the audience does.
Did the audience not hear anything either?
I don't know. It was just like white noise to me.
All right, hold on. Let me see this here. The audience probably heard it.
I mean, that's what's important, in my opinion.
I agree, sir. All right, let me fix this. We're going.
Yeah, they heard it because it says QVC music.
Yeah,
stuff like that.
Yeah,
it's probably just like stock music that they could use without getting copyright strikes and stuff like that.
Yeah, tell me if it echoes now. It might echo now. I hope it doesn't echo. Let's see.
About 19 years old up to right now. I'm 59, so that's 40 years of my work, and I hope you find that interesting. There's some I'm not that crazy about. Some of it I think is pretty good, and I hope you guys think so too. So I worked really
does sound
hard
like
on this
Comic
cover.
Shopping Network stuff,
right?
Like generic elevator music, like, and then his voice on top of it too. It sounds like it's straight out of the 80s or 90s.
Yeah, dude, it's weird, bro, but it's beautiful. I mean, it's gorgeous.
Oh yeah, no, yeah.
Just turn them. Just don't listen to him talk and just back it. That's a pharma drug. That's a pharma drug commercial. Yeah.
Keep a lookout for it. And my enjoyment of drawing what I hope are pretty girls. And, that's harder work than drawing a monster, but it's something I always try really hard to do a good job at. So in this book, you're going to...
I think we need to reach out to our boy Art Adams, man. It would have been fun.
Well, do you think it was his direction in doing it this kind of way, or do you think it's like, his art manager or something? I would assume it's like, I don't know, or a collaboration kind of thing.
Yeah, look how beautiful
background
Art
music from HR training video.
Dude, look how beautiful Art Adams' art is, dude.
Yeah.
It's next level. I love it. Only every once in a while does it come off kind of a little weird. Only every once in a while.
I think he has that modern, that nice balance between like coming from like an old school artist to like what modern artists all aim for, and he has a good, excellent balance between the two, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Shout out to Tomb. Make sure you guys are following Tomb. He's got new stickers out. Go hit him up. Limited. So yeah, Art Adams Kickstarter, third night in a row where we talk about Kickstarters, I believe, or fourth maybe. I don't know. Go check it out.
We've ruined Art Adams for people now.
yeah, I know. I hope not. This actually looks interesting. So I'll drop the link in the chat for everybody. If you wanna go check out all the levels and all the goodies over there.
Well, I would actually kind of want to see this, like him playing that generic music, like on like Whatnot, selling like stuff. I think that would actually like gain a huge following of people more than expected.
Yeah, for sure. So, people keep sending me some crazy shit, dude. People sending me crazy shit.
My phone's blowing up too right now.
I know.
But I think it's just like group chat. Yeah, it's just a group chat exploding.
All right, here we go. What else was I gonna say? Yeah, that, and I got more. I got more goodies for everybody. Bro, did you see this? Have you been following along with the what's it called? What up, brother?
G?
What up, G? Have you guys been following along with the Habzula, or what's that dude's name? Habula?
Oh wait, is he that the guy in the Middle
Hasbulla.
East or whatever with
Yeah,
the $6 million Superman comic? Is that who you're talking about?
No, the little small guy that has a prism card.
Oh, yeah, from UFC, right?
Yeah.
That rookie card.
Oh, the
auto.
little guy from the UFC.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
someone recently pulled like what, an out of 10.
I think a 1-of-1 got pulled, and people are saying it
Oh,
could be
his 1-of-1 got pulled? Okay.
$100,000. But dude, I'm starting to see this more and more, and it blows me away, and it makes it real to me, and it's very weird. I'm keying in more on autographs, right? And these kids are young, man. They're young, right? They're like, most people who are signing cards nowadays in all the sports are anywhere from 18 to 25 for the most part, right?
And you could say even younger in baseball too, right? Like 17-year-olds. So
yeah, basketball too. But the autographs are getting bad. But check this out. This is out of a UFC set. This autograph is crazy. That's what we're getting for autographs now. Like he's not even trying. He's like, just print my name, dude. Just print my name.
Well, it's likely that he's
from another country.
Yeah, what is that? Italian, Billy?
Yeah, he's probably Russian or something. But don't Russians have a signature?
But I mean, at the same time, cursive isn't required in school like when we were growing up, right?
Yeah, but I could be wrong about this. This could be a the more you know moment brought to you by Beyond Wednesdays. Is it normal across the world for other countries to have people who live in other countries to have signatures? Does every person in the world like normally have a signature? That's my question. Let us know in the chat and in the comments too.
I would assume so, with like, checkbooks being like a thing, right?
Yeah.
Like you would have to endorse a check, like no matter what country you're from, like some sort of symbol.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. This was the obvious reason, right, that they don't teach cursive anymore. That's very obvious, but I feel like, wasn't it cool growing up and practicing your signature?
Yeah.
I mean, didn't every kid do that? Even if you weren't like into sports or something, you thought you were going to be like famous, a newscaster or a music star or something. Didn't everybody practice their signature and play around in different ways to sign your signature? And now that I'm older, like my signature doesn't. It just looks like I would be terrible on these things. It wouldn't look. It's the fastest little scribble you can make. But it's going to take so long to write this out compared to just doing a quick signature on 5,000 of these cards.
Well, was it a sticker auto also though?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What they say is an autograph. A difference between autograph and signature is autograph is it's the person's own handwriting. And a signature is made by hand. An autograph, but not all autographs are cursive signatures, due to the fact that that the autograph is the actual like person's own kind of like
like
stamp.
Signal.
Oh,
yeah,
like a brand for them or whatever.
Yeah.
And I get this sounds crazy, and I am definitely high. I'm always high, brother. But the fact of writing a quick little signature for your name, is that a thing around the world? I'm not saying do people write their own name. I'm talking about, a quick little signature. Most people's signatures aren't calligraphy, beautiful writing where everything's very easy and obvious to see. I know there's some that look that way, that look beautiful. There's some people that have gorgeous handwriting out there, but most people, it's just like a quick little, it used to be a fucking X. You know what I mean? It used to be an X. Yeah. They used to not write their name. They just put an X.
That reminds me. Have you seen that?
Or an
sumo wrestlers, the sumo wrestlers in Japan doing signings where they just ink their like handprints and then they just like stamp it on a sheet of paper, and like someone's just like putting paper across in front of them, and they're just like stamping their hand on it as their signature.
Yeah.
So I mean, like in different cultures, right?
Yeah, that's what I mean. That's why I'm asking this. It could be a total learning moment for me. Like, hey, here's a perfect example. What about countries that have characters instead of letters? That use characters. When they sign their signature, they do it in a character style. Today,
yeah,
I know they
like,
used to back in the day, but like, do they do it today, like in the modern world?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Like Otani's signature used to be like, it used to be in this kanji signature.
Exactly.
And,
yeah.
And then like even he's changed up his autograph recently. If you looked at like from his rookie signatures to what his autographs look like now it's just like a loop. But before it used to have like kind of like that kanji
intricate
kind of look to it.
Yeah.
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 Well, if you look at his signature in that he or his print or autograph, I don't know what you want to call that, but okay, so his name is spelled his last name is spelled DVALISHVILI. This is DVALISHVILI. So there's an extra I in there.
Yeah.
Or am I?
No, you're just not seeing. Yeah, you might be high too, bro. That RSO.
Okay, gotcha.
Great show tonight, gents. Great show tonight. Yeah. That's very interesting shit, dude. I thought that was interesting. All right, hold on here. I got copyright struck last week for playing the Greg Capullo shredding, and they copyright struck me. Fucking.
Oh, with him playing guitar?
Yeah.
How do you know you got a copyright? Like, what does the email look like?
When you get monetized, you have these little. By the way, go fucking sub up to Richie's channel if you're not subbed up there. You can find the link in the description below. Let's get him monetized. When you get monetized,
easily over 1,000.
Yeah, you should, bro. When you get monetized, after the end of every show, a couple hours after every show, you get a little symbol that will be red or yellow or green. And if it's red, it means you either got struck or copyright hit, right? And that means that the people that copyright hit you are getting your money because you supposedly used their stuff,
I think I that's really good. Thank you for that. I've been wondering that for a while. On my situation, I agree with you guys. I could put out more content. I definitely agree on that. And I'm trying my hardest to improve the production. I mean, you could see that I'm trying new things. Trial and error, like Bryan says, is a real. It's actually like it's a huge tool, and because we learn so much. And since Bryan alluded that to me on the phone, a year or two ago, I've learned so much. But I think my name is what's the problem. I'm hearing from a lot of people that because there's another a bigger channel with the same name that I didn't know about, and I just the differential is my brand and my one.
Yeah,
it's still not enough. So I've been messing around with keyboards. I went ahead and downloaded that YouTube Buddy, whatever. Got the trial membership.
YouTube Buddy.
Yeah. So I'm wondering, is that just for tags, or is that like an idea to tags and change your name to see like?
It helps you with titles as well too, right? Like whatever you're titling your videos, it'll tell you like what percentiles it predicts like what you'll hit or like which audience you'll hit like with this title that you're using.
Okay.
So that's what I loved using it for.
I like it a lot. Okay,
yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. So I mean, so it's hitting on different levels, right?
Yeah.
So, like it utilizes your best hashtags, like, and it's also like utilizing like how you're presenting your content of whatever title you're using. Like this will hit this group,
Great info. Thank you.
So that's why I didn't choose a name until I found a name that. I understand what you're doing, so I don't think that's a bad thing to do. You want to come up with a name that when you search it, like there's a chance for it to come up. It's not totally similar to everything else, but it kind of goes with the idea of your channel, trying to figure that out, and that's hard to do. That's hard to do. Sometimes it might just be easier just to go with your name as your brand. But that's also hard to do.
I was so close to just calling it dollar shit on a stick to see, and just like replace the shit with a 5 or something like that and see what would happen, but that didn't fly.
Yeah.
That could be like 5 hits from like every box you open, right?
Yeah. Would you guys see this? So actually, I'm gonna save that. All right. All right. This is interesting. We got more Will Jack Power Girl art starting to show up. He's got a variant for Power Girl #1.
Nice,
dude. Yeah, his shit is next level, man. His shit is really that good. This is his IG, the original art from his Power Girl 1 cover. DM if you're interested in buying this art. You can buy it. You can own it.
Well, I think that's my favorite part about him, his art, right? Like, not only is he doing it digitally, like he's doing it on ink and paper as well, right?
That's a great point, actually. That's huge right there. Yeah, I totally agree on that. And I'm looking at this, and I'm thinking about the book that was on the show last night, the Power Girl.
Yeah, right? Yeah. That was garbage. People buy those garbage books, though, bro, and we'll get into that. I mean, they're not all garbage. I shouldn't say that. We'll get into that later. But, yeah, man.
Different tastes for different people, right? Kind of thing, situation.
Yeah. Overprint refugee. You think that's bad? You don't like that? That is amazing, man. That's amazing. I love that. That's beautiful. It's gorgeous. Go get it. What else do we got? All right. Let's see here. How you doing, Richie? How you feeling, brother?
I'm feeling better actually today. I've been working all day on my license, and then I went to my manager's house. I was gonna go watch the UFC, but my dad came home early from the Kentucky Derby, and so I wanted to hang out with him instead. But anyways, he showed me his collection. I got a bunch of pictures and videos. He wants to come on our show. I can't believe what I saw. He finally saw our show for the first time, the Wednesday show last week, and he was just like, "Holy that thing is so dope." A couple stories I'm going to tell you right now. You guys are all going to trip. So I went and I go, "Can I see your Wander box?" So he shows me his Wander box. He has everything organized by player. I couldn't believe it. My mind was blown. He has all these Wander firsts, Bowmans, right? Refractors, and he's also got, the two. You know how they put the 3 players now, but they used to put the 2, and sometimes they auto and it'd be up to 25. Mm-hmm. So Wander's number 5, right? This is what he has. He has a first refractor of a Wander that is a 5 of 5.
Wow,
nice.
So you got bookend and jersey match. Okay. He's got that 2-player. It's him and another Ray. I didn't recognize the name from prospects, maybe a pitcher. And that's auto, but it's sticker auto by him. And it's 5 of 25.
Wow.
And then he has a another Wander Franco that is not a first Bowman, but it's a 5 of 20, or not a 5 of 25. It's a 25 of 25 bookend. So I was just
eBay
like,
1 of 1.
yeah. So I was just like in shock. He showed me all his dude. You should see his Kobe rookies, bro. Brian, you will shit if
does
you
he grade his stuff, or does he just put them in 1-touches?
He was asking me about that. He just buys slabs and 1-touches. He just buys PSAs. All the Wanders I'm talking about, though, they were all graded. He bought them, or he said he won them in a break, like a slab break or something like that, like a mystery box.
That's cool though.
And then after I was done with that, I got some good footage for that. I'll probably put something together for that. I went to Savers, which is kind of like in my area in Huntington Beach. It's been there for like 30 years. It moved right across the street. But anyways, I go there to look for comic book treasure hunt, right? I go to the treasure hunt, and they didn't have any comics, but they had sealed video games. So I got some pretty cool sealed video games, some Star Wars, Xbox 360, and then I got some Japanese PS2 and PS3 soccer games with Cristiano and Messi on the front.
Oh wow!
Oh nice.
They were only $3.99 and $4.99 a piece. They have the sticker on them. So, but the thing is that I'm not going to have to try to remove it from a glossy comic. I'm gonna try to remove it from the seal. So we're gonna see if I can remove it.
What do you guys think about the CGC card labels?
I like them because I'm used to comics. But if I wasn't used to comics, I'd be like, eh.
Well, I like how they improved on the sports grading side label too. Like it's different from that.
Dude, Pokemon and comic cards look so good in them.
Oh, absolutely, 100%. Totally agree on that. I haven't seen any sports cards because I think their sister company does the sports cards, right, Aaron?
Yeah, like what's it called? SCG.
I haven't seen any of those slabs, so I couldn't tell you.
Like I have one of the original ones, but they've changed it since then.
But supposedly their 9.5s on Pokemons are basically PSA 9s for us on our sports cards, and 10s are tough. They're tough.
So this is like the old
CGC.
label.
Why the green?
I don't like those.
Well, so this is like the sports card.
I'll be right
they
back.
changed
I
it to
gotta take
like
a piss.
they changed it to like a black label. Like I think I have another one. Yeah, so it's CSG instead.
Nice.
So I mean, I bought them because they were cheap and like for what the card was or whatever. So I was like, kind of like the goal was to eventually cross it over. I've just been too lazy. And want to grade other stuff anyways first.
And then the other thing I was going to tell you. So while I was at Savers, this dude walks up with a kid, older dude, probably like 60, and he's got a Revelation Records sweatshirt on, and he has a Trust Kill hat.
Oh,
right?
Nice,
right?
Yeah.
And he looks almost familiar, but not familiar.
Okay.
I don't know. It was just kind of a weird feeling at a little kid. So they go up to and he goes, Dad, I want comic books. And, when you hear comic books, you always look over. And they didn't have any. And I was like, unfortunately, they don't have any, kid. But you like video games? Oh, yeah, we have PS4. I go, well, they have PS3 and 2. I'm pretty sure you can play them. But these are the Japanese. These are from the J League soccer and baseball. Japanese. I forgot the maker. And he was like, oh, so they bought a couple of them. They're all loose. They weren't sealed. But long story short, it was Joe Foster from Ignite. And he goes,
oh, that's awesome.
And Uniform Choice. And he goes, is your name Richie? And I go, yeah. And I go, you do kind of look familiar. He goes, what's your last name? I go, Richie Taylor. He goes, dude, it's Joe Foster, bro. Don't you remember I used to pick you up every day for freaking when you were 16, we used to go play ping pong all the time. And I was like, holy shit. He's like, dude, how many tours did we go on together? 10? And I go, nah, more like 6, but yeah. And I go, dude, Joe, you look good. But dude, he did look good. He just looked older, like I look older.
Yeah.
And so we're talking and he's like, man, I need a bass player. You still playing? I go, yeah, I play every day. I just mess around though. I go, I use RSO. Is that a problem? He's all, dude, I get drunk every night. No, he's just, I drink. And he started laughing. He goes, no, I drink sometimes. And then he told me that, you remember Chorus of Disapproval? The hardcore straight edge band, they're old school.
Okay.
The singer died yesterday. He got hit by a scooter on Beach Boulevard by my house.
Oh,
so
shit.
they're having a wake. All the Ignite guys will be there. All these old school guys that I grew up with are going to be there. So I'm gonna hang out tomorrow.
That's cool.
And I'm going to jam with those guys on Tuesday. He says he's starting a new band and he's a bass player. I told him I can't do any Euro legs or any legs at all, any kind of tours over 2 weeks. He's like, that's perfect. That's perfect. I said, okay, I'll try out.
Nice. I mean,
yeah, brother.
It's probably like one of those situations where he realizes like everyone's older now, they have responsibilities, and it's like
100. Good dude.
We're not kids anymore. It's like kind of like, oh, fuck this job, I'm going on tour.
And it's so funny when I first met him, like Ignite had only been together for like 3 months. Okay, he's the founding member. They didn't even have Zoli. Zoli wasn't even the singer. It was like I think Joe. No, it wasn't Joe. It was I can't remember. But anyways, I was stoked, starstruck because Uniform Choice is like a band that I grew up on. Uniform Choice, Youth of Today, Gorilla Biscuits, Judge. You know what I mean? Like they're founding fathers, Minor Threat when it comes to hardcore straight edge.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it was a good experience. Good day today.
I got so much shit. Oh, one more thing that I want to show you for the autograph stuff. Look at this.
Get out of here.
Houdini pulled one of these, bro.
Get out of here. Is that on more than one card?
So that's what Bowman sends to the player to show them how to sign and where to sign, and it got into the they didn't take it out, and they got into the product.
Oh, I thought he actually wrote that there.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Okay. I would have thought that was even funnier that like he signed it like that, like sign here.
That's what that's what I thought too. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
That's so crazy, bro. Quality of cards is really taking a shit, man. They're really taking a shit, but you know, it is what it is. Hopefully, Fanatics will change that. Speaking of Fanatics, I think it's time to get into Comic Drama Alert, right?
Into the into the into the
It was pretty interesting talking to Dinesh the other night and bringing up all the where comics are going and what he thinks about the future of comics and stuff. If you guys didn't get to see that, it was really good. We kind of tied that into a drama alert segment on Wednesday, but there was some interesting stuff said there that it's nice to kind of hear things like that sometimes. Sometimes a lot of people hear that stuff and it never gets out, and sometimes it's cool. It's cool to understand, know what's going on behind the scenes and stuff like that. But that being said, there is a new platform coming along. We asked Dinesh what he thought about all these new platforms, and he kind of gave us his take. But there's a new platform coming along, and speaking of cards, that platform is Fanatics. So pretty interesting to see how that plays out. We have eBay starting up soon. They were taking new clients, I guess, or they put out a little survey thing, to anybody that wanted to try and get on the new eBay Live app, and they asked, what other places you sell on and stuff like that. I don't know if it's still available or not. It might be if you look hard enough. But eBay's getting ready to get started, and Fanatics is throwing its hat in the ring. So Fanatics Live has opened applicants to become a seller on its live shopping and streaming platform. That's very interesting, right? Because one of the things that I thought that could have been so great with Whatnot is if they could have figured out a way to actually make that streaming part work, right? Like, have it be more of like a stream like this, you know what I mean? Like the ability to do this and sell books, you know what I mean? I always thought that would have been a really cool thing to do. Yeah,
because I mean, I'm not going to speak for everyone on the panel, but that's how it was kind of presented to us too, right? That it was not only just a selling platform, but it was also a place where you could create and do content on. Which I mean, like that had good intentions in it, and then all of a sudden, the algorithm for it became really important, and it depended on like how many sales you're making per hour, like how many followers you're gaining, how many, typical of like any like social platform, right?
Yeah.
And then like some of it like ate us alive, right? At least that's what I kind of noticed, like, whenever we were doing it, like, because I think, like, I hit the peak amount of viewers at a con, and I figured, like, okay, well, I made good numbers. My next stream, like, it'll be really good. And then it was, like, 20 people or less showed up for my next stream, and I was just, like, it was kind of discouraging, right?
Yeah.
That like to see like almost hitting 100 followers, and then or 100 live viewers, and then all of a sudden it just like plummets, and then you're like kind of like, all right, what am I doing wrong? Even though it's like kind of like, am I really doing anything wrong, or is it just like getting eaten by the like whatever monster is like in the background or whatever?
I jumped on today for the first time in a long time. I jumped on to Drew's Wanted Comics sale just to go say hi and check it out. I hadn't been on there in a while, and I wanted to update everything and see what was going on and play around with it again, try and get into it maybe, and see if there's any differences, if they've dropped anything new or exciting. But so I stopped by and said hello to Drew, and he had I think he had 62 people in his sale, which is a lot, dude. That's a lot for when I quit doing it probably 6 months ago. I think I would get, if I was lucky, I'd get 20 people in a sale, So,
but I mean, he's been grinding hard on there, and I mean, but that's one thing that he's really done really good at is being consistent, on doing 2 or 3 shows a week or whatever, and then he built from the ground up, which is the ideal of what you want to do.
Yeah, he did it every week, multiple times every week. Same, there's multiple people that do that, and that's the grind. You got to be able to do that grind, So we'll see if it plays out. It's going to be very interesting to see the people that are selling on there. If we're going to get the same influencers that kind of go back and forth, that are hot on all the platforms, or are we going to see new guys pop up, that type of thing. But here's something interesting. One of the things that I've been hearing lately from quite a few people, it kind of surprised me that it was still happening, but the strain of whatnot sellers asking for free books or deals on books, I guess, is becoming a little too unbearable from some people out there. What I'm hearing from, again, multiple people in multiple situations, that it seems like some of these bigger guys, it has become such a feeding frenzy that that's how they do most of their sales now, is they worry about either making deals with other sellers, and they're all selling each other's books, you know what I mean? So that was one of the things that we kind of said, if that continues to happen, it's going to kill the brand. So yeah, a lot of retailers hit me up and said, a lot of retailers have hit me up and said, yeah, they've been, every time they go set up at a con or something, you got all the whatnot people and all the resellers coming to ask you for deals on books, and they get pissed if you don't give them the best deals and stuff. And man, I hope that doesn't continue to happen. That will be a bummer on both ends. So we'll see how that plays out. I'll let you guys know if that continues to be something. But over the last about 2 months, that has been something that I've been hearing quite often. So to continue on, though, I'm going to drop a link. I'm going to invite somebody. He said he would try to make it if he could. And if he can't, no worries. We'll get him on. We'll give him a chance to come on and talk about it another time. But, one of the things that I've been talking about a lot lately is, and this is going to be a long Drama Alert segment tonight, you guys. One of the things I've been talking about a lot lately has been the whole thing going on with adult titty books, I like to call them. Titty books. I think that's the best thing to call them. Gives me a little bit of a laugh, a chuckle, but you realize what it is. And it's become very prevalent lately. And I don't know if I'm just getting old. I don't know, or if this is kind of something to call out. So it's definitely something that I wanted to bring up during the segment, and to give everybody out there in the chat, to comment on it and to give their opinion on it, because I want to know. I want to know from all the people out there in the comics world. I want to kind of figure out a way to navigate this, because it's starting to become interesting. And I don't want to hurt feelings also. So one thing I do want to say is, you know, I'm cool with you guys liking to collect these books. I'm not going to tell anybody, you know, what they collect, you know, what to collect and what not to collect. You know what I mean? That's your opinion, and I'm cool with that. And opinions can always change, including mine. But, you know, I'm starting to see things like this, and it's got me wondering. It's really got me wondering. It's this right here. This upper left one's a good cover, man. It's a good cover. Yeah. I don't see the need to do this personally. Nemesis Prime, shout out to Nemesis Prime. I'm a fan of Nemesis Prime, and I invited him on. I sent him the link. He said that if he was able to get home in time, he would jump on. And I said, I'll send you the link anyways. And if you get a chance to come on, you know, you can. I'd love to pick your brain on it, as well as pick everybody else's brain on it. You know. If there's anybody else out there that produces books or sells books, you know, that has this and they have an opinion on it, I'd love to hear from them too. You know, we have a call-in section. You can call in. You can find the link below in the description. But I want to have a decent conversation about it. It's starting to kind of feel weird, and it's not just this book. This book was kind of like the reason for me wanting to bring up the topic, right? And the reason why is because I've been talking about it for a while, and I love cool variants, Star Wars variants, you know what I mean? I've even collected some of the cool Paul Green Star Wars variants, you know, that are like, what would you call these variants that aren't not, I wouldn't say legal, but aren't, you know, part of the Star Wars brand, I guess you would say. There's a name for that.
Oh, NSW something.
No. It's like legal. You know what I mean? Like the Star Wars has given their blessing on it. You know what I mean? You know.
Look who just showed up.
There we go. Perfect fucking timing. We got you on.
What's going on, Brian?
How you doing, brother? I'm glad you're here.
Good,
dude.
good.
So I'm gonna continue on. Have you been listening in pretty well so far?
Probably last couple minutes.
Perfect. That is
home.
perfect. Yeah. That is perfect. So I'm going to continue.
Hey, I know that cover.
Yeah. Bro, this cover is beautiful, dude. It really is. The main cover is a great cover, and there's a name for this. When you don't have the license, I guess it is parody covers. I guess it is. And I've bought in these before. I bought in the Paul Green Star Wars parody covers. I love them. I love the one where it's the chick as Jango Fett, and there's the one where it's the stormtrooper. Right? Those are cool things, and I get it. But I don't know if my tastes are moving, because I don't understand the allure to take a character who, and again, this my opinion can be changed on this. I don't understand why you take a character and you have to throw that on there. But here's what I do understand. I do understand it sells, right? It sells. It'll always sell. What was your decision to kind of do this cover, brother?
So really the idea really came out of Mad Love Comics and Art. So really those are the guys, they started last year. This is actually their 40th cover. So to give you a background on them, what they do, these aren't really it's not a comic book. It's a comic book size. You can get it graded. This is an artist portfolio for Japs Archer. So basically interiors is, for anybody who's gone to cons, artists do sketchbooks. So it's similar to a sketchbook. The interiors are full colored, rendered, either variant cover, covers that they've already worked with through Mad Love, or just other different renditions of, art that they've already done. I've been following Mad Love since probably their first one they did a long time ago, which was he started with a Satana one, which I was like, wow, I'm blown away. He finds different artists that are no names and kind of brings them on to do these artists. And he's also been doing these new things called cosplays. So for the cosplays, it's an original cosplay character or cosplay person. And on the interiors, it's different pages for their own cosplay. So he did the Zatanna one right there on the right. And then he got this artist, Japs Archer. He did a Ahsoka Tano. Recently, he did a Sabine Wren and a Hera Syndulla. And obviously, you know me, if people know me, huge Star Wars fan.
Yeah.
And basically, I I reached out to him. I said, listen, I was like, I love, I've been picking up Spider-Gwen was another one that I picked up as well. I was like, listen, I've been picking up a lot of your stuff. I would love to do a collaboration cover between my podcast and you. I said, listen, I'm a huge Dr. Aphra fan. Let's try to make something work. And he said, absolutely. And it was actually in the works already. So it was going to be maybe not this one. It was going to be another one, but we were able to get this. And I was so happy the way this came out.
Was it your decision to do the extra the nudie covers, or is that just something that happens on every Mad Love
yeah,
book?
pretty much. If you look at the covers, if you go on his website, for the most part, you get a cover A, a cover B virgin, and then it would be like a topless and the nude.
Yeah. So basically, you knew that was going to have to happen going in.
Yeah, to be honest, I thought the trades, of course, trades are going to go, virgins are going to go, and there's a realm for topless and nude covers. For me, I was an old Zenoscope guy. I was collecting Zenoscope in like the 2010s. I would get the regular variants, and I know you kind of talked about the Paul Green stuff. I love Paul Green when he was doing Zenoscope. Elias Chadzudis is another one of my favorite artists. So I get those variants that came out of the conventions, but I would never get the ones that are like fully nude. If I want to see tits,
yeah,
see real tits. Like I'm not seeing a comic book cover for it. So, anybody like Mike DeBalfo, Ali Granov, Elias Chadzudis, all those artists, Zenoscope artists that worked on McTeague, Sabine Rich, like they'll do like a nice, and then they'll do a naughty, and then sometimes they'll do a nude. I was always about the nice and the naughty ones. I wasn't all about the nude ones. So
yeah. It's a weird
going
thing,
into
dude.
it. I was like, I don't know, dude. I was like, I don't know if people are gonna like the nudes and the topless, but they sold super well.
Yeah.
Like, I'm down to maybe to give everybody background. So it's a 50 print run on each of these: the trade dress, the virgin, the topless, and the nude. They were 50. Metals, foils were limited to 10 on each, and metals were limited to 10. And basically, myself and Milton the Manimal, of course, Comic-Con podcast crew, we split the print run with Mad Love. So we got half of that. And I'm literally down to, I think, 6 or 7 topless and nudes left. And everything else is sold out.
Yeah, it's crazy, bro. It's nuts. I mean, it's a gorgeous cover. This right here is amazing. The background with the heads on the spikes. It's a really, really good cover. It's just become so common to me, man, to see certain books like a perfect example is Shikari, man. Like I remember seeing these Shikari. I brought up Shikari. I hope I'm saying that right on my IG and during the IG art little thing because some beautiful, beautiful art out there. But then I started seeing like the actress ones, right, where they have like Rey from Star Wars head, and then a body of Pam Anderson times 10. You know what I mean? And it looks real. And because Rey doesn't have double D tits and a fat ass, it feels weird, right?
Mm-hmm.
And what do you guys think about that? You guys into the Shikari stuff? And if you are, I'm cool with it. I don't have a problem. Anybody?
No, I don't really collect that.
No,
I'm not into it at all.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not that I'm not into it. I just haven't dabbled.
Yeah.
Not even, messed around. This is actually a new topic for me. The one thing I'm not into is the nude with the chick squirting, and I'm just not totally not into that.
And listen, I'm okay with people collecting it. Here's what is weird to me, and all this is open to change my opinion. I'm always open to have my opinion changed for most things. I understand, like, back in the day, we all have those stories about going in the comic book shop, right? And back in the day, and when we would go into the comic book shop back in the day, there would be that area that has the little curtain drawstring, just like in the video store, right? And you kind of always knew it was back there. You'd figure out ways to sneak in there to buy a Faust book every once in a while or something. And it was just the way it is. And I'm okay with that. You know what I mean? I'm cool with that. But the thing that's kind of weird to me is that this is so out in the open now, and you're going to cons, right? And you got, books that are out there, and you see like these, like sitting out on tables, and it's kind of weird to me. It's just weird to me, and I'm getting, like I said, I don't feel like I'm a prude person, but I don't understand it, man. I don't really understand it. And then on top of it, I really don't understand the what's the way to put it? The reality, putting this on characters who are seen as young, and that's what I want to get into, right? So we've brought up this topic before. There was that Wednesday cover, I think, that kind of made me take that road. That kind of made me go, man, isn't Wednesday supposed to be like a young girl? I feel like that's. You saw, we've talked about it on the Disney books, fetishizing some of the Disney characters and stuff. It feels kind of weird. I would love to know from most people out there, including people in the chat, people on this panel, people talking. Is that okay? Is that something that is okay to be as much used as it is today? If it is, why? If it isn't, why not? I think a lot of people are okay with it being made. It's just, it feels.
Oh, it shouldn't be represented in that way.
Yes.
Yes. Because of we know that character as someone that's underage, right? But then to I don't know, quote unquote adult them up or whatever, it still seems like that's somewhat in a gray area of what should be appropriate and what's not.
Yes. Well, and here's the other thing. I understand it's about making money, right? I understand it's about making money, and these things sell. So I'm okay. I get it. That's the other thing. There's people that are. This is a business, and I look at what happened with the Afra book, and he knew going in that this was going to be a thing. I'm to be honest, I'm cool with it being made because it gave us such a beautiful regular cover. But just the thing to me is weird, and maybe I'm gonna stand on a soapbox here and be like, I don't look at Afra as this tantalizing girl with her tits hanging out. That's not the caricature. If this was the chick from Roger Rabbit, I'd be cool with it, right? And or something like that. It just feels off that we're putting these fake things on these characters, whether it's you're adding a fake body to a real person's head, you're adding fake attributes to a character that normally doesn't have these attributes. It just feels like an interesting topic to talk about. So that's why I wanted to bring it up for sure.
Yeah, Brian, I'm with you on it. If you go to Mad Love's Instagram, you'll see the Ahsoka one that he did. It's not too old. And it's, I don't do that one. Yeah. And I don't see Ahsoka as a sexual character. I love Ahsoka. She's my favorite Star Wars character, but yeah, it's, I think it's a little on the, it borders on the tasteless side, but sometimes there are, it's, her ass is right there. I mean,
yeah.
I mean, you don't see her boobs. I mean, all the versions for this are very clean though. It's this cover. I actually have.
I don't mind this one actually. I don't really.
There's this one. It's like a close up. So.
Oh yeah.
I like that.
Yeah,
cool.
This is gorgeous art, and that's the thing, and that's what really I wanted to also bring up, is the fact that let's be I got to be honest here. This could be an Adam Hughes comic cover of 100%.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I grew up loving Adam Hughes, Dave Stevens, that would sexualize characters, right? And one of the topics, the reason why, this was one of the topics in Drama Alert, it's going to take us into another topic, as we segoo later on, but this has been going on since the pinup days, right? We're going to talk about these amazing pinup artists, these, Alberto Vargas, Olivia, these pinup artists that just draw beautiful art. But I guess there's this thing. Yeah, JC Comics says that's tasteful. There's a tastefulness, right? There's a tastefulness.
But at the same time, like, the last time we saw Ahsoka in anything in Star Wars was her as an adult.
You're right.
So it's okay.
Yes.
Yeah. So I mean, it's not like,
and it's Rosie. It's Rosie. What's her name? Rosie Dawson.
Yeah.
Rosario.
Yeah.
She's kind of like a sex appeal character.
Yeah.
Right. So I mean, I feel like that's the difference here, right? We're not seeing, it wasn't like the last season of Clone Wars dropping. It was her aged up as an adult, like beating up with Luke Skywalker.
Yeah.
Versus, and then all of a sudden, everyone's on that hype train of Wednesday, which is a high school character, and then you have, I guess a sexy cover of Wednesday or whatever.
For the most part,
there is a Spider-Gwen too. If you go up a little bit, I think.
For the most part, this stuff
showed it before.
This stuff is gorgeous. I mean, this is gorgeous right here. This is beautiful. This is beautiful, beautiful.
Yeah, the cosplay stuff is nice that he's been working with some of these cosplay artists.
And I don't mind the cosplay stuff. I'm cool with that. I get it. Like this is kind of weird to me, man. That's kind of weird to me. I don't know what.
Well, it's kind of manga anime-ish. And they love that shit.
That's
right?
beautiful. This isn't. That's the other thing. I mean, we were just talking about Will Jack's Power Girl. Power Girl is a character. That's another thing, that's very sexualized, obviously. But there is that taste factor. There's that weird taste factor, and that's different for everybody. And I get that. It's very, wow, that's beautiful right there. That is amazing. Yeah. It's an interesting thing, and of course, brother. But that's not why I'm talking about this. Trust me. I just it's become a topic that is talked about everywhere, and we're getting to a point where there's a lot of, I guess what's interesting is there is a lot of new sellers and new people to the hobby, and they're looking at the fastest way to make a buck in this, the fastest way to be on the positive, the fastest way to start a business. And let's be honest, if you're watching these shows, you're thinking, get into the variant game, do a risque cover, sell out. It happens a lot. And then the other crazy thing to me is, I would love to know your guys' thoughts on this, because I get talked a lot of calls about this too. Hold on here. I'm gonna find it. There's always been cover models, right, that go to cons. There's always been cover models out there and all that type of stuff. Not Vampirella. Who's the other one? The TV one? That
Elvira.
That Jesse James is always talking about. It's very interesting, very interesting. But one that's been coming up a lot for me, and I'm sure it's been coming up a lot for you and other people on this, in the chat, is Melinda's Comics, right? And Melinda's Comics has kind of taken it to a place where she's putting like an image of, like, an artist is drawing her as the character on the cover, right? And she has the nudie versions of that cover, right? Which is a totally different take on it. Like, this is a totally different take on it. And I could see so many people jumping onto this bandwagon, and you got crazy things like this. Dr. Flaw's Comics, I saw this. It said, big announcement. It's possible I made Melinda's Comics blush, but this much is true. Her eyelash is stuck on this book. It's a 300 print naughty variant, and he's going to auction it off tomorrow because her eyelash got caught on a piece where she signed it.
It's kind of cool.
People will buy anything, I guess, right?
It's like, do you guys watch Succession?
Yeah.
I haven't seen that.
You remember when what's his name's character, Mattson's character, said that he was sending his ex blood?
Yeah.
People are into shit like that.
Yeah,
believe it or
they
not.
are, man. They are. They are. They 100% are. I would love to talk to Melinda's Comics one day because I feel like, man, she's probably got some crazy fucking stories, dude. Like people are saving her eyelashes, man.
I just ran across her IG or who she was maybe a couple months ago, and my first thought was, okay, this is another dude behind the scenes having his really good looking woman market his shit, which I'm not saying that's bad. That's what I thought, but no, she seems like she's really taking this.
And on top of that, like we love things like this too, right? I put myself right in there. I love Frank Choke sketch covers. These are fucking hilarious, right? So where is the line, if there is a line? I want to start asking people, and I'd love to have people put in the comments below. And I appreciate you coming on tonight, man, to talk about it. And I'm really stoked that you sold out of it. I think it's probably one of the best. The regular cover is one of the best Afra covers. That background is so amazing, dude. I'm a big fan of Afra, just like you. I love Star Wars just like you. I follow the shit out of everything Star Wars that you do, so keep it up. And then I'm sure that we'll key in on it in the future and see if you decide to jump in that sandbox again.
Yeah, I'm really excited to see the foils. Me and the owner of Mad Love have been talking about what the foils are going to look like, and I think people are going to lose their minds when they see it. It's not just like it's not just a simple foil for the cover compared to like a metal. People are going to go bananas for the people that were able to get lucky enough to get a foil.
Is dipping your toe into the variant game going to be something that people are going to see you doing on the regular?
So Zach and I, of course, my podcast partner, we talked about it. Like I said, we had an investment on this. We made money. We would love to do a legit actual variant comic. Cover is cool. I've had artists who I've spoken to, I've known over the years that I would love to say, hey, come do a variant with me. We were, obviously, I'm sure you've talked about it before, the Distillery, the new comic publisher, would love to do a #1, get an artist, and I'm sure those print runs are going to be low because obviously that's what it is. If it's just going to be, me and one other person, I want to be able to have that return on investment. I don't want to have, a 3,000 print run and be sitting on 2,000, right? It's not fun. So I was happy about it for the character. The print run was low enough where I said, all right, at least if I make my money back, it's fine. If I make some, that's great. Yeah, I think the next thing, but it would definitely be down the line. I would love to do a Turtles one. I would love to do a real Star Wars one, but
yeah, well,
3,000 print run with Marvel. It's not
right.
1,500 for a Virgin. Come on.
Yeah. I'll be honest. I look at the exclusive variant game with very interesting sets of lenses, just because I feel like it's very cool and it's something that can be done well. And I think a lot of people who are in this game that love comics would love to create something like that. And I hope that we start seeing more people that are doing that creation, like you're talking, where it's a lower print run. You're not putting yourself in a position to screw yourself and screw the market at the same time, or screw somebody's feelings about comics and get somebody all butthurt, which happens all the time. But I really appreciate you coming on here and talking about it, man. And
yeah, thanks, Brian. Thanks for giving me the time, and it was tasteful. So again, I'm super excited. It was I wouldn't say it's like a passion project for me. It is a passion to have your own cover with your a logo and everything. It just spreads the word for the podcast and a character that I liked. Like I said, everything, it's super limited. 50, 10, and 10 for these covers. They're hard numbered on the back. So, and that's a big thing for me. I've been collecting variant covers, and I love seeing, when it's, you could say it's limited to 500, 1,000, but is it really? Do you really know that?
Right.
Or when
That's
it's
the problem.
physically on the back?
Yeah.
It's it. Once these are printed, that's it. There's no gonna, we're not gonna do any more.
Well, before you leave, let me ask you. What are your thoughts on the whole "do you poo" style of printing, where you have the similar guts, whether you're an artist and you're just putting out a sketchbook, and you're just changing the cover, or it's an actual comic that has a storyline, but it's the same guts and just 500 different covers.
Yeah, it's tough with the Do You Poos because I think Murat's done a great job. Some of them, a lot of people that I follow, one being Comic Enterprises, like he did the Heir to the Empire one, he did Clone Wars, and he did the one, it was Darth Vader #3, the variant, right? The variant for Dr. Aphra. The highest selling variant of Do You Poo went for like $800+ on eBay. And
it's crazy.
It's great. It's crazy. It's cool if you like the cover. Like, again, I have all those 3. I have a few other ones that I've bought over the years just because I like the cover homages. But yeah, it's just reprinting the inside over and over. Like, realistically, if anybody in the chat or, you guys, if you bought that book, are you ever opening that book, or are you just looking at the cover, right? It's just, it goes into your short box or long box, and then it sits there.
That's my Marvel subscription. Digital. I read it on digital. So
yeah. It's interesting, and it's I wonder. So here's the interesting part about it to me. I look at it like that has taken the place of, or it's going to, and it's taking the place of prints. Right? Do artists sell as many prints anymore as they used to, like back in the early 2000s? I remember going to cons, and that was what I was looking for from an artist. I wasn't looking for a sketchbook or a variant cover that they're selling, or something like that doesn't come out from a main publisher. I was looking for prints, and I wonder if now they're selling less prints and they're selling more, of their exclusive variants. J. Scott Campbell does his stuff. Adi Granov does his stuff. Murat does the Do You Poo stuff. Are they selling prints anymore?
Well, I mean, I think one of the major problems for a lot of artists were that there's a lot of those booths that that we've been at cons where they're just selling whoever's print, right? Where it's an unauthorized copy of a print, and then it's just being sold, like just because they pulled the image from whatever website they originally got it from. So, I mean, I'm sure that would be a factor in deterring an artist for printing out their own prints, right? Because, like, why would you buy it directly from the artist when I can get 5 of them for half the price or whatever from vendor whatever that's selling them?
Yeah. Well, it's an interesting game, the way the comics market is playing this, and collectors are playing it, and we'll keep an eye on it. And make sure you guys go sub up with the Comic Con crew. Give Nemesis a follow on IG, and we got to do this more often, brother.
Yeah, absolutely. Let me know, Brian, whenever.
All right.
I appreciate you hitting me up. It was odd. I was,
Do you have to go? Do you have to go? Can you hang out?
You're more than welcome to hang if you want.
You're more than welcome to hang out.
Anytime you want to bail, just throw up the deuces, dude.
All right. Yeah. I'm chilling then. We'll talk more drama. That's all about what we do on the podcast.
It is. The drama alert segment, man. I love it.
It's all about the speculators.
Yeah. All right. More interesting stuff to talk about this week. Did you guys see this? This is like real drama. Like, this is no joke type drama. That I saw that was interesting. Matthew Lawrence says an Oscar-winning director asked him to strip for a Marvel role. Youch. Yeah, he says, I went to the hotel room of a very prominent Oscar award-winning director who showed up in his robe and asked me to take my clothes off. And if I did X, Y, and Z, I would be the next Marvel character. I didn't do that, and my agency fired me. From Matthew Lawrence. I imagine this happened back in the either early 2000s or late 90s. I can't think of him being a big enough actor in the last 10 years to be approached for a Marvel role, even if he was a twink for some director, some sicko director. I know a lot of people first said Bryan Singer. Shout out to Newbie who posted this. I wouldn't have seen it otherwise. And Bryan Singer, I see a post on there. A lot of people trying to figure out who it was. Did you guys see this?
Yeah, I saw it on Newbie's post as well.
It's fucking crazy, dude.
So you don't think this is recent?
Yeah, that's what this is. Well, I would think no. It's like you said, Brian. It's old, right?
Yeah.
It's probably if he hasn't been prominent in the past 10 years, so maybe it was in like phase 1 time.
Yep. Yeah, I think either phase 1 or even like, You know, again,
oh, like the Fox kind
the
of
Sony stuff, the
stuff.
Fox stuff, yeah. But I don't know if anybody has, you know, he said Oscar winning. Did Bryan Singer win an Oscar? Yeah, he doesn't have an Oscar. So that's the other thing that's interesting, you know. And this happens. This happens all the time. And, you know, Bryan Singer, it's been known for a while that Bryan Singer has had these rumors out there about him. But it's sad that his agency dropped him for it. Like,
yeah, that's the weirder part, right?
Yeah.
That his agency would drop him for, I guess, doing a favor or whatever to get a role.
How powerful of a director is that? I mean, that's like Weinstein type power to be able to do that. And if that's the case, I don't like the fact that people don't name names for this shit, man. I think
Go ahead, Brian. I'm sorry.
I feel like if you're gonna come out and say this, you should name names. Like diddling kids is fucking. You don't fuck around with that shit. And then in this type of era, if this was a woman, people would be with the pitchforks saying name names. We want to know who it is.
Well, this tells me it's still happening.
Yeah.
It's still happening. It's probably a lot tighter and more under the table. This is probably the leak, the biggest leak in a long time. But that's pretty sad, especially what happened to Weinstein. I mean, he's looking at what, 9 years, and he's in prison right now, right?
Yep. So yeah, he's got cancer, I think. It's sad, dude. It's really sad. And there's a lot of crazy stories out there. I listen. Did you guys remember there was a show on E? It was called True Hollywood Stories. Or no, Mysteries and Scandals with AJ Benza. And AJ Benza was this New York gossip columnist that did this story about old school Hollywood and all the crazy stories behind the scenes of old school Hollywood, dude. I used to fucking geek out on that stuff. And I listened to Benza has a podcast that I listen to still. I enjoy him. He's a funny guy to me. But he talks about this shit all the time, like exactly like you said, Richie. It's still happening, and you know, it's an interesting thing. But to see Marvel tied to it again, or you know, Bryan Singer's name's coming up again, I kind of wish people that would with a serious a thing as this, I almost feel like you need to say names, man. Like, you have to say names. You can't. I want to know who your fucking agency is, and I want to know if they really fired you because, like, did he go and tell them? I would want to know if he went and told them, like, hey, this guy, you know, tried to diddle me or something, and I said no, and he came and told you guys, and you guys fired me or something like that. That's not cool either. That's bullshit. That's sad, dude. That's fucked up. Very interesting. We'll see how that plays out, see if that gets named in the future sometime soon. Hopefully we'll see it out there. I don't know. All right, another quick thing. An Indiana public employee used company credit to scam $250,000 in cards. Mark Green, director of Parks and Rec in Columbia City, Indiana, purchased hundreds of thousands of dollars of sports cards on the city's company credit card. He made all the purchases from Sports Spot in Fort Wayne and would alter the invoices to reflect sports equipment purchase when he submitted the receipts to his superiors. Right? That's fucking crazy, dude.
Wow. I mean, I know, like, sports cards can be like a huge addiction and stuff like that, but that's like next level crazy. Yeah. He would stash the illegally purchased cards at his desk, and I guess he would open them and sell them. Did you guys hear about this? Isn't the first guy? Like, there was like 3 or 4 guys this week. There was a cop that got caught. He was going into Target, and he was stealing sports cards on duty and shit. And oh shit!
I didn't hear about that.
He would open. I think on duty. I might be wrong about the on duty. I know he's a cop, and I know he stole sports cards, but he would take the cards, he would open them up, sell the hits on eBay. And he got in trouble because Target started realizing that the boxes were missing, and they keyed in on it, right? And here's something a lot of people don't know. There's cameras in Walmarts and Targets that use AI to watch you, and it recognizes thieves. And it will, anytime you go to grab something, it will key in on what you're trying to grab and log it, right? And if you don't sell that on your way out, it will flag it and it will let the people know at the counter, and the people at the counter can press a button that kills the system and makes it look like it had an error, and you call for them to come over and they look at your tag, you know what I mean? Like, oh, what is this? And that's how they do it. They do it nicely. It's a nice way of doing it. So here's a cop that gets caught stealing these things. It's fucking crazy.
Was he in uniform while doing this?
That's what I'm not 100% sure, dude. I would love to know if anybody out there in the chat knows. Drop a link, call in, let us know.
That's funny. Joe saying, so he didn't make any money.
No, he made money. Well, what do you mean? He did.
Well, I mean, like, because, like, I mean, like, we get pretty lucky when we're opening retail products, right?
Yeah.
That's not always the case for everyone opening retail products. It's pretty hard to hit, right?
Yes. Yeah. Richie, any updates on your? This is my segue into your issue with.
So
Panini.
So this is a little bit embarrassing, but at this point, I literally am desperate. Okay, so let me share the screen real quick. All right, let's go. All right, so you guys probably saw my. Sorry, Brian.
No,
you saw my post regarding this card here. Let's see. Did it forward? Shit, it might not have forwarded it. Anyways, you know what? Let's just go this way. You probably saw the show on Wednesday, our flagship collectibles show, where we do we do everything. And I blind opened a redemption that was filled and redeemed and sent to me like 500 and some odd days later, 18 emails and 10 messages asking for an update, and no freaking answer except when I called and confirmed that the card would be numbered. Okay, so when anybody that watched the rewind or watched it live saw me pull the LaMelo 2020 the year, what was his rookie year? 2021
Yep.
NBA Panini NBA Flux, which don't really care for him, but it was the only thing that had a LaMelo redemption chase in it. Got it for my birthday from Pop, so it was extra special. Opened it on Flipside when we were all there. You guys all saw it. It was insane. I didn't even know it was numbered. Took my scanner on my phone. I scanned it. It showed it was numbered. Sent it to Panini, hoping they'd come back. They confirmed it was going to be numbered. Now, according to Cardboard Connect and Beckett, I guess I missed this, but it was only that freshman, that insert is a freshman signatures auto, and they're all the rookies of that rookie class, and there's only, I think, 10 or 15 of the 50 that they actually did this for. LaMelo was the number one. He was the one that had the redemption. That was a one in almost close to, like, I don't know, 750 to 1 million packs out of a blaster box. Pulled it, so stoked, redeemed it, and all of a sudden the processing on it took forever. I finally got the card. I opened the package. There was no number on the card. I got the base refractor of the card. Now, this card redemption could have been sold for $700 to $1,000, probably closer to about $900. Okay, and it would have sold. I went ahead against the better judgment and didn't listen to Bryan and Ben told me to sell it. I went ahead and redeemed it because I really like LaMelo Ball, and I thought this was a huge pull and this would be great content once I got it. And they fucked me. They screwed me over. Excuse my language, but they screwed me over. It broke my heart. I left the show literally like 30 seconds after that. I was disgusted. I couldn't sleep. I haven't been sleeping because of this. I've been trying to go back and forth with Panini. Finally, they responded. I went ahead and I put every executive. I did like 6 hours worth of due diligence. Anybody that was an executive manager at Panini, I got your email address, and they were on that email. And I was very professional at the beginning, in which I'm going to share all this stuff on Wednesday. I'm going to put together I just haven't had time because of work. But anyways, and I said, hey, 2 problems with the card. A, it was supposed to be numbered. According to your guys' records, you guys detailed that, okay? Was not numbered. Second, it was a sticker auto and it was a redemption. So that means the player signed all these stickers, and then Panini support, tech support, or quality assurance actually placed that on the card, not Lamello, okay? It's 3/16 to an entire 1/4 inch crooked. So I feel sabotaged because after the 15th email, no response after 500 days, the last 3 were not too nice. Okay. So I feel sabotaged. I wasn't rude. I was just like stern, like kind of like I'm going to get my lawyer kind of language. So finally she responded. And the first response after, if you guys saw my post on IG, you guys know I didn't say anything. I didn't get a card. Where's my card? I detailed just like I explained it, but in a much longer format. And I get a response of this: your car was delivered. Your gripe is with FedEx. Here's the tracking number. So she didn't even read my email. She just went ahead and just went, blah, blah, blah. Okay. So that's the first problem. So I responded, okay, appreciate the quick response. Did you read my email? If not, let me go ahead and copy and paste it. And please see the attachment, your records, and the card. She responded after a few more back and forth. She was going to take care of it. It was going to be take care. She confirmed it's supposed to be numbered. She didn't confirm if it was going to be numbered out of 10, a 101, and then I later found out if it came out of retail, it could be numbered up to 99. Okay. She didn't say that, but she did admit that. So she said, create a ticket in the Panini app. When you create a ticket, send it in. We'll send you a shipping label. Please give me 3 to 4 months. I'm not going to leave you empty handed, in her own words, and we'll get your card back. Perfect. Bryan called literally like 10 minutes after. Like, I was literally about to call Bryan how excited it was. And what did I say to you, Bryan? What did I say to you, Bryan? How happy I was.
Yeah, you were stoked. I
was like, they're going to take care of it. Can you believe it? I get an email at 1 a.m, my time, Pacific time. And my phone rings and I sleep and lightly. And this was the first night I actually got a good night of sleep after that. I woke up and I checked it, and this is what the email said. We looked at your card and we noticed that on the drop down to create a ticket for tech support and quality assurance to fix this, your set Flux 2020-2021 is not on there. Unfortunately, we're not going to be able to replace this card because we cannot replace, and I'm going to read this to you verbatim because some of these I never heard of, but it's called an entrapped autograph, which it's not an entrapped autograph. It's entrapped autographs are on like those National Treasure cards that are like inside the box of the relic or the patch. They also said sealed box cards, and they also said sealed packs. And then I responded, and then she said, sorry for the inconvenience. Good luck. Oh my God. I almost passed out again, but not sleep. Like I was like, anxiety attack, screaming, throwing shit. 1 a.m, my neighbors going banging on the walls. And, I calmed down or whatever. And I wrote her an email back and I said, okay, so I understand that and I respect your guidelines, but unfortunately, this is not a sealed pack. This is a card that was sent to me that I did not pull. This is the wrong card. You guys sent me the wrong card. Second, that wrong card is heavily damaged. If I send this into PSA for a double auto, I'm gonna get a 10-6. Because of that auto is so crooked. She never responded.
Yeah, I'm not surprised, dude. Check this out. I'm seeing these pop up on all over social media. LaMelo Ball autograph problems, including them sending out autographed cards without the autograph.
That's cute.
Yeah.
Is that better or worse than the sign here?
I don't know what to think now because, well, here's the only thing. And this is the only little hope I have. It's just like with Star Wars right now. Like my hope with Star Wars is left to Ahsoka. Like that's all that my hope is hanging on how good Ahsoka is going to be, right? Well, at the same time, my hope for cards is hanging on what Fanatics is going to fix, if they're going to fix anything, right? Because now they own both companies. They own both Topps and Panini, the two biggest ones. Fix these fucking issues, man. This is terrible. The quality on cards, the redemption card thing is dumb. You should never do redemption cards. You know, like what the fuck?
Well, hasn't like
All right, I'm
Fanatics...
peacing out.
All right, brother. Thank you, bro. Make sure you guys go sub up. Go give him a follow. We'll drop your link in here, bro.
Thanks, man.
All right.
Later.
We'll talk to
Good
you
night,
later.
everybody.
Later.
Yeah.
But hasn't like Fanatics already started taking over the production of Topps cards? Like in the sense, like, you know, like the
autograph part.
Even the event they have at the beginning of the year where it was a Topps Fanatics event, right?
Yeah,
so
they're killing.
I feel like
they're killing product. Yeah. They're taking away. They're figuring out a way to get rid of redemptions. They say, which is a good thing. Are they going to be able to do it? We'll see.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. I don't know. Maybe we should look that up. Like, when is Fanatics actually going to take over the printing and design and everything? You know what I mean? Like, I think there'll probably be a couple of years before they do. I would imagine that Topps probably has design and starting already on 2024 design as they're putting out 2023 Bowman, right?
Right.
But
or were they planning it ahead of time, like on the based off the reception of this year's product, right?
Yeah. It's interesting, dude. It's interesting, but we'll see how that plays out. All right, final one I'm gonna do for Comic Drama Alert. I told you it was a long Comic Drama Alert tonight, you guys. Long one. This is a video I saw from the 9.9 newsstand on IG, and it's flipped weird. So I'm going to play it. I'm going to flip it here so we can actually, let's see here. There's got to be a way for me to do this. Let's see here. Let's see if I can flip this the right way. Let's see here.
As you remember, right? The error.
I don't know if it's going to let me edit this or to flip it.
Looks like he has the error version of the Malibu Sun.
Yeah. Well, anyways,
13, right?
this is sideways, you guys. It sucks that it's sideways. I wish there was a way for me to flip it. Let me see here. I think there is. Hold on. No, I'm just gonna rock with it. We're gonna let
Malibu Sun 9.2. Well, when it was sent to me, as you remember, right? The error.
Yeah, here we go. I'm just gonna play it out. Let's rock with it.
Malibu Sun 9.2. Well, when it was sent to me months ago, it was damaged in the inner encapsulation. They bent the corner. I need you to send me a shipping label. I need you guys to press it and do everything in your power to retain this grade. So first, a week goes by and it's not posted to my account. I called. They said, oh, we did receive it. We accidentally sent it to a signature series event. I was like, what? This is a mechanical error to be corrected. It's not supposed to end. So they retrieved it and then it showed up on my account. Then the next day it said shipped. How could it be shipped already? And the customer service lady, really nice lady, says, unfortunately, I have no information for you. I do see that it's been reholdered and it's on its way back to you. So you have to just receive it and let me know what happened. So as you can see here, it retained the grade, right?
Yeah.
They didn't do anything.
Wow.
It still has the big bend at the bottom.
No.
They didn't press it. They literally just changed the case. I can't sell an 8.5 in a 9.2 case. I can't do that. Fix it. They put it in a brand new case that says 9.2 still. And didn't fix the book. Does the person that unpackages the book throw all the notes out the window and just what happens from that point on?
Yeah.
Crazy. We're going to be hearing more and more of that stuff, I imagine, with all the craziness going on with magazine collecting, and CBC is opening that, and CGC is working on new products. I feel like that if they were to start a new product, that they would have everything else down well enough that shit like that didn't happen. But it is what it is.
Wow, I was about to say that was the fastest like CCS pressing I've ever heard.
Right. Right? Yeah. So, you guys, that is Comic Book Drama Alert. But we are going to segue from the talk about titty books into a really quick and interesting thing that I find interesting. You know, one of the things we talked about when we were talking about the quote-unquote titty books is the fact that, you know, we love Dave Stevens. We love Adam Hughes. And they're like modern-day pinups, right? And it got me thinking about pinup artists, right? And the greats out there, right? There are some pinup artists out there that are just absolutely amazing. And I'm going to start off with one that is my favorite pinup artist. I have I don't know if you could call it original art all over my house from this artist, but this artist, let's see here. This artist used to put these pinups out as calendars back in the 40s and the 30s. His name's Alberto Vargas. I'm sure a lot of people have heard of him. Very famous artist. In my opinion, the greatest pinup artist of all time. I'm sure if you guys don't agree, the people that you're going to be naming are coming up next. But this is Alberto Vargas, and he is the guy that started when Playboy started. Alberto Vargas was sending in stuff to Playboy to be published. He got his start in the early 1900s for what are those follies? The what are they called? The what is the Ziegfeld? Ziegfeld. He was a guy, and he would draw the Ziegfeld girls, right, in the early 1916, 1919 era, right? And he did that for a long time. He would paint these Ziegfeld girls who were, you know, on Broadway at the time, and they were, you know, do all those big dancing lines where they kick and stuff and do all that weird shit. Well, that's where he got his start. He is from Peru, and he was a photographer. He studied in France. He moved to New York to do the Ziegfeld paintings in 1916, did that until about the early 1920s. And then he started working for like movie studios and magazine stuff, right? I have a beautiful print of this. This is just a gorgeous, gorgeous Vargas piece right here that I have up in one of my rooms downstairs. A lot of you guys will probably also recognize this. This is an Alberto Vargas piece, the famous Batman piece. He started basically doing stuff for Playboy when Playboy started, because he was already doing magazines and pinups. He would do these calendars, right? These Vargas calendars back in the day. And I thought it was cool, 20 years ago, I would go and search out on eBay, my months, my calendar months. And I would buy the original calendars, for September, from the 1940 issue or the 1930 issue. And they're big pieces of paper, made well, like Golden Age comics and stuff. And I get them framed, and they're just gorgeous, man. I absolutely love them. There's some really, really good pieces in Playboy that I remember throughout the years, and this is a perfect example of we kind of got to look at ourselves in certain ways. I look at the quote unquote titty books in a weird way, but I love this, right? And it walks that line of tastefulness. Like, what is tastefulness, and does that the idea of being tasteful, like, it changes with the generation, right? The younger generation is probably, seems very, very tame to them. But it's very interesting how that taste changes and how we move forward and stuff. This is another beautiful Vargas piece right here. I always thought it would be cool to find out like his earliest find out where the earliest thing that printed a Vargas girl was. Like he had stuff printed that wasn't Vargas girl stuff, right? But the first like really considered Vargas girl, which I think I showed an image of one of the ones that they consider like the real first ones. I would love to know like where those are printed and to see what they sell for. You know, put them on the creators first list. These guys are just amazing. And there's another pinup artist that people absolutely love, that they talk about a lot when you talk about Vargas, and that's Gil Elvgren, right? And here's some images of some of his work. Of course, this got really big in the 1940s with World War II and the GIs, right? And these are just classic images to me. I love, having these framed and getting quote unquote like really nice prints or the original stuff out of the original Playboys or the original calendars back in the day. This is a really famous one of Elfgren right here. A lot of tattoo artists are into, obviously into pinup girl stuff.
But would you see this as more like a historical connection, like, and then like how it's a little bit more classier versus like what we're seeing nowadays, right?
Yeah. Again, that's what I'm talking about. Like, it's historical how our tastes change, right?
Okay.
And I'm not going to get too political on here, but one of the things that I love commentary on YouTube, right? I'm the nerd that listens to Tim Pool and Destiny, right? Like, I want to hear it from both sides. I want to hear what the younger generations are thinking on both sides, and I want to see them, explain how they feel. And I really geek out over a lot of those things, and seeing how they debate this stuff and how they think about things nowadays as compared to when we were growing up before the internet. And things change. And one of the things that I always hear in the political arena is that whenever great societies start to crumble, it's because they get really enamored in weird ways with sexual ideas. And I don't know if I believe that, because I feel like sexual ideas there's always fringe sexual ideas that change with the years, right? So like sexual ideas feel like there's going to be this fringe sexual thing that for every generation, and what's tame for one is not tame for the other, and vice versa. So it's an interesting topic to me. And I love Brad Selden, man. He is my guy. He's one of the dudes that I really respect in this community. I don't understand how you like Sam Sneeder, man, or Sam Cedar. Like, that dude is such a goofball. But anyways, I agree. I like Matt Taibbi most of the time. All right, let's continue on. Yeah, love this Moon Witch piece. Obviously, a lot of comic fans. Middleton. There's that beautiful Frank Cho Harley book. There's great the Dave Stevens Elvira book. Shout out to Chungy, who sent me the Elvira Dan Parent homage. Like, this is just a classic, image. All right, let's continue on. Elfgren was he was mentored by the guy who created the idea for Coca-Cola to use Santa Claus, which basically gave us the 20th centuries, the 19th century, and now idea of Santa Claus. That and the Amanita Muscariot, and the idea of that and the Scandinavian, heritage gave us our idea of Santa Claus. And then when Coca-Cola started putting their changes on it, it became this major thing. And that's where Gil Elvgren got his chops from, I guess you would say. Here's another beautiful image. Let me bring it up here. Oh, can't bring up that one. Let's see if I can bring up this one. There we go. All right, these came out in the 40s and the 50s, and they're just beautiful. He painted calendar illustrations too.
I have that tattoo on my arm.
Really? No shit.
Well, I don't know if it's the same one, but it's the same fucking thing. I mean, it's she's hammering and she's sucking her thumb. Let me see.
Yeah, dude. That's
right
interesting.
here. Wait, let me try to get it on the camera. There it is. She's sucking her thumb.
Yeah,
too.
yeah, with the hammer.
Wow. Yeah.
And he did calendars too. You know, like Vargas. So, yeah, man. There's some beautiful hardcover books out there that I've picked up throughout the years of all their pinups, Vargas and Elfgren, you know, out there, and it's very interesting, man. One of the ones that I find amazing, this is a beautiful piece too. Hold on here. One of the ones that I find amazing too is Olivia, and I watched this really badass piece about Olivia on YouTube the other day. And Olivia, of course, is basically the new Vargas, right? And she kind of took over for Vargas and Playboy, and she started doing all the pinups in Playboy. She is huge in the comic book world. You know, I imagine she does cons all the time. Her art is very, very Vargas-esque and Elfgren-esque. Just a great artist. Here's her drawing. She started in the 50s and 60s, I want to say. So, you know, I kind of wanted to talk about this on the same night. This is one of my all-time favorite Olivia pieces, this sailor right here. Let me open this and see here. This sailor.
It's funny because I have that. No, I'm joking.
This sailor right here is my all-time favorite Olivia piece. I own a print of it. It's in a badass frame downstairs. I remember the first time I saw it in a Playboy as a teenager. You know, we all had friends or had subscriptions to Playboy. And you know, back then, and I remember seeing that piece and then this piece right here. And just being like, holy cow, absolutely beautiful art. So I picked up prints of those. And it's just an interesting thing to, you know, you have to kind of realize and think about it yourself. You know, you feel this way about one way of sexual taste in art. And then you feel another way, you know, when there's a certain line that gets crossed. And where is that line of tastefulness? It's very interesting. The same reason why, you know, certain things are considered art and nude art. Where's that line where I imagine YouTube probably has that line where if I could be crossing it right now, you know, if they think that this is a little too sexy. But yeah, beautiful art. So that being said, I would love for anybody out there, if you guys know some of like the cool pieces that us collectors of the old school 50s pinup art are, you know, if you guys know of any or own any, I would like to see them. I'll make a pinup art section, a 50s pinup or a classic pinup art section in the Discord for people to start putting up, you know, pieces that they know of, or even some of like, you know, their most famous pieces where they first showed up. I would love to start collecting and looking into that stuff. You know, you can buy original pieces from these people at auctions all the time. Of course, Olivia is still drawing and is still alive to do work. There's other great artists out there. There's new pinup artists. I consider people like Dave Stevens, Adam Hughes, Travis Charest, Terry Dodson, Lobos, Souza Micah. Like, I feel like they're our version of pinup artists. They do this beautiful they have this softness to their women, and I feel like that's a thing on pinup art, right? Pinup art women they're not very like it has this real softness, right? And it doesn't feel fake. It's a very interesting way of art.
Yeah.
Well, so. And what I've always enjoyed about pinup art, right? It has that perspective where it has that like 3D feel to it.
Yeah. real, like almost like a weird realness.
Like like where it's like that. It's not like that hyper realism where it looks like a photograph, but it's like on the cusp of that, right?
Yeah.
On the approach to that. And then Ferd, I'm sorry you hate Bowman.
Well,
yeah, let us know what you were trying to pull.
Well, real quick, speaking about Bowman, I'm going to give people a little tip. Let me show you guys.
I mean, it's one of those things like whoever's hot right now, right, may not pan out in the next year, right?
Here's my suggestion to people out there. Go to either Steel City or Dave and Adams blowout cards. If you've got enough money to buy a case of 24-pack retail boxes. You'll get 12 24-pack retail boxes for $1,700. I bought one of these. And I bought one of these, a case of 40 blaster boxes. Okay, for $1,400. Right? So you're getting, and here's why, right? So look at the price of a case of 24-pack of retail. You get 12 24-pack boxes of retail. People that have been opening up the retail boxes on average have been getting one autograph and up to 5 or 4 to 5 numbered parallels out of the retail boxes, the 24-pack retail boxes, okay? In the jumbos or the hobby boxes, you get one autograph and usually 2 to 3 numbered cards if you're lucky. In the jumbos, you get 3 autographs. Okay, and in a case of a case of Bowman hobby is ridiculous. It's like 4,000, it's like 3,400 or 3,200, right? So double what a retail case is, if not more. And jumbo boxes are like $600 to $700 a box, and cases are like $5,000. And you're getting 2 extra autographs a box and less parallels, right? Autographs are great, but the parallels are where the big money is at. Yeah. The parallels are where the big money is at. So,
shout out to Striker Breaks for breaking down the product too, like figuring out like pack odds and like where your money is best spent, and right, like comparing jumbo odds, hobby boxes versus versus the blasters.
Or even if you can't afford a case and you just want to buy a box, I would suggest, right? You can buy a jumbo box and get 3 autographs and 3 numbered cards for $600 to $700, right? Or you can get a hobby box with 1 autographs and 3 parallels for $300. Is it $300?
See, even that $700, I think I'd rather spend $700 on like 20 blast.
Right. So a hobby box is $300. A jumbo box is $600. Right. You get 3 autos and 3 numbered cards in a jumbo. You get 1 auto and 3 numbered cards in a hobby. Or you can buy a retail box for $144. On average, get 1 autograph. It's not guaranteed, but on average, people are getting 1 autograph out of them, and up to 5 numbered cards for $144. Like that's easy.
Yeah.
So people are going to be buying the retail boxes like crazy once they realize that's the play.
With the hits that are coming out of there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I watched.
I'm about to go buy a retail box myself right now.
I would suggest it, dude. It's worth it. $150 or $300, and you get the same thing basically out of a hobby. You get the same exact thing, right? Even though they're not guaranteed, on average, that's what you're getting. A hobby, you're guaranteed. Well, not 100% guaranteed, but you're basically guaranteed to have better chances to get 1 per box. I watched Jabs too. Shout out Striker Breaks. I really want to get Striker Breaks on the channel at some point. He also collects comics. I love watching his channel. I also watched Jabs' video the other day where he opened 4 boxes of each, and that's what he basically proved. Out of 4 of the retail boxes, he pulled 3 autographs. Only 1 of the retail boxes didn't have an auto, and up to it was either 4 or 5 numbered parallels in each of the retail boxes, right? And he pulled a super short print of Julio Rodriguez that is like thousands plus out of one of the retail boxes.
Wow.
Yeah. So, yeah, man.
They're juicing up that retail product in, huh?
I feel
well, it's weird. It's weird for what's been released so far, right? Like out of the big flagship products, like Series 1, everyone's chasing after those jumbo boxes. Hobby boxes were the kind of the average. And all the way down to like what a hanger. Hangers were complete trash.
Yeah.
And now it's like almost flipped the opposite for Bowman now. Like, I don't know.
Yeah. All right, let's real quickly, let's go take a quick look in on our boy Lefteros for his FOC stuff. I love taking a look in on his stuff, man. Here we go. By the way, yeah, we got new comic book day, right? Did we already go through these? I can't remember. Did we go through FOC on Wednesday? Do I usually do FOC on Wednesday or Saturday? I don't know. Yeah, I already went through these.
Saturday.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you should go around Saturday.
Yeah. Here is his free comic book day selections list that I definitely wanted to go over tonight, though, because of free comic book day. Starting off, there's a lot of people talking about the Animal Farm book, but we also got some other interesting stuff. This is interesting to me, this Met Cadet special. It's a new property that will be the subject of an upcoming Netflix animated series. Greg Pak's story, so it looks interesting. Check that out on Free Comic Book Day if you haven't gone into the shop yet. Maybe there's some still left over. Ranger Academy Special has some first appearances of some new Rangers. Sage, Tula, Mathis, and Rainth. So there you go. Dawn of DC Night Terrors #1 introduces the Realm of Nightmares heroes that we talked about a few weeks ago. Looks very, very interesting. The Night Terrors stuff is kicking off. It's going to be cool to watch. This is a Sacrificers #1 free comic book day. It's a preview of a new upcoming ongoing series by Rick Remender, and it's got a Tedesco cover. This is Avengers X-Men #1 free comic book day 2023. First appearance of a new character called Win. And then another new character on Marvel Voices #1 free comic book day 2023, a character called Kem. There you go.
So, see, I picked that one up hoping that Mel the Dinosaur would appear in that.
Yeah, yeah. This is interesting because I don't know if this is right, but RuneScape Untold Tales of the God Wars free comic book day. Left Row says first ever comic book based on RuneScape. That's not true because isn't there that RuneScape Jim Lee book that we talked about the other week on Almost 10? So, but this is still cool. Street Fighter 6 #0, first appearance of some new Street Fighter characters. So there you go. Ninja Kimberly and possibly others. So there's some free comic book day books to check out if you don't know about them, which is interesting stuff.
Yeah, I was chatting with Comics Main, and he was definitely saying stuff about the Kimberly first appearance in comics. Yeah.
Yeah, Comics Main would definitely know more about that stuff.
Oh, yeah, with anything Street Fighter, like he's going to be the person I'm going to ask.
Yeah, yeah. All right, we got some IG art to go over real quick. Some stuff that I already spoiled you with, but we'll just run over them really quick again. The Will Jack Power Girl. Gorgeous. Love it. Beautiful. This Mario art is sick, bro. This never-ending art stuff.
Oh, that's cool. Oh,
Yeah.
I love these. Yeah, where everything's super zoomed in and
Yeah.
like it keeps on zooming out into a bigger image.
Digital Bobert on IG. Bobby Chew does digital art, and I love this stuff, man. Super cool.
Good. Yeah, because I want to say the first one I ever saw like this was the it was probably like a Rick and Morty or something like that, where it was like in a pile of throw up or something like that, and you kept on zooming out, and it just got into a crazier and crazier image.
Yeah. Yeah, cool shit, dude. Such a
Yeah.
interesting idea, and you know, as technology gets crazier and crazier, this is the type of stuff that art is so amazing because of how like new ideas of art and what is art and all that type of stuff. So very, very cool
But
right there.
I think it just questions like perception and
Yeah.
everything too, right? Like, or just like even the reality of where you are in the world, or I don't.
Yeah. Next, we talked about Jamie Coker last week with his Turtles stuff. Look at this Usagi Yojimbo he did.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Right? Badass.
Yeah.
And then, of course, the Frank Cho cover. You guys know I love Frank Cho, and I love his sketch covers. And this is they're just so funny, man, and super adult. I get it, but they're funny. He also did another. This one was really funny too. Superior Spider Dong. Yeah, that was pretty funny. This is him doing this one. He did this one. Everybody's talking about Power Girl's boob window lately. So yeah, beautiful Frank Cho art. One of the best in the biz. And then Travis Charest? No, Mark Chavez. Mark Chavez. Look at this, dude. Beautiful. This dude's a real fucking deal, dude.
Oh, this beautiful magic cover.
It's great sketch artist, man. Absolutely amazing. Punchline 9x12. Put it up on eBay. Yeah, follow this guy. Punchline, wow. Punchline is a great design character. Look at that. That's pinup-esque. That's Adam Hughes, Lobos, Dodson. I love this.
Oh, especially just like the position of like Black Cat and everything, the way it lays out.
Yeah, awesome. I would love to own that. So, great artist. Check him out. Mario Chavez. I think I said Mark earlier. All right. So this guy does statue design and statue art, and he's fucking amazing. Nelson Asensio on IG. This was something he did for Thor Ragnarok. It's a statue of Gladiator Hulk. It's a connecting piece, I guess. But just look at that, dude.
Oh, wow.
Right? And he did the art for it. Here's some of this. This is pretty cool. Check this out. This is Chicago-based artist Seamus Ray has gone viral for an interesting take on a self-portrait. This is crazy. Check this out. So he adds on. He does a new one constantly, like an infinity portrait with a different take on it.
That's really cool,
right?
Like, I mean, because that's one of those case study things that like a ton of artists that go through art school do, is doing a self-portrait, because it's one of the hardest things to do, right? To portray yourself realistically in art. And this is a great take on that too. Like to have like an infinity image of it.
Yeah, super cool. All right, another SpongeBob Walking Dead sketch comic by Andy Dusso Art. Great sketch artist. Love his work. Bikini Cemetery. $80 he sold this for, you guys. You could have bought this for $80. And then those are more Jamie Coker stuff. So very, very cool. That is IG Art Spotlight for this week. You got any pickups this week, Yi?
I do have a few pickups this week.
All right, what you got?
Yeah, because I haven't been on in a while, huh?
Mm-mm.
All right. I'll start with cards real quick because I don't have too many. And then I'll get into comics eventually. So I'm going to cover all the bases. Cards, comics, and toys. So let's start off with this Jaw rookie. I mean, I already had one of these. It's a Jaw Morant Green Shimmer PSA 9. The only reason why I bought it, it was so cheap. The seller sent me an offer. Pop is super low, like less than 30 on the population. 17 in the PSA 9. I can't remember how many 10s, but there's a lot less. So this is coming from like the T-Mall product. So I was like, low population, might as well keep on adding it to my collection.
Yeah.
I did a couple of trades this week. One was I traded a Steph Curry Kaboom from the Player of the Day I hit. So I found someone else that hit a Ja Morant Kaboom from the same set, and they actually pulled it. So shout out to Skeff. He made a really simple trade with me. Like,
wow.
I was like, yeah. So I had the Steph, and I said, hey, I have a PSA 9 as well. Do you just want to trade for the Ja? He's like, yeah, I'm down because I pulled this Ja and you pulled the Steph, and we both sent it out for grading on our own and hit 9s. Like, seems like a fair trade to me. So I was like, kind of like,
he's a Steph fan too, right?
I think I know he's a LeBron fan. Okay. So I don't know how much of a Curry fan he is, especially right now.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
All right. So I attended that Marvel Unlimited panel a while ago, and Marvel actually sent me out the figure they said I won. So this is a Storm Forge Jubilee 3-pack. So it was pretty. Yeah. So all I did was attended the panel, a Marvel panel, talking about the history of X-Men, and they sent me an email the next day saying, hey, you won one of our giveaways. It's going to be this figure. Just email us here. We'll send it out. And I don't remember what they said, like 6 to 8 weeks or something like that. And then, yeah. All right, let's go ahead and get into comics. So I traded away a comic. Something is Killing the Children #1 for this beautiful Batman 181 4.0. First appearance of Poison Ivy.
Great trade, dude.
Yeah, so I was the person really want. I don't know if they want me to say their name, so I'm just gonna leave it anonymous for now. But they were looking for Something is Killing the Children 1, and I was like, I have plenty. Like, this is what I'm valuing at. And he's like, hey, how about this book? And it took me like half a second to say yes. So can never complain about silver or modern trades for silver books, right? Silver Age books. I went to Free Comic Book Day to a different couple different shops, picked up a few books. I had never seen this Avengers homage to X-Men 1. Have you seen this book before?
No.
It's Avengers 24.
No, when did it come out?
I think it came out pretty recently. It's a $4.99 cover. I'm gonna have to look more into it. It's a Mike Deodato cover.
That's badass, dude.
Yeah. So I thought it was pretty cool. So I was like, I'm not gonna pass this up. One of the craziest pickups I found here was they had the five Ronin set.
Wow.
So like this was $6. Issue 2, the Hulk one, that was also $6. They had the Ronin for $8.
Wow.
I was surprised they had the Psylocke there for only $10. So, and then the Deadpool at the end. So I was really happy. Like, anytime I run into the set, I'll pick it up.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then always collecting part of the Way Run. I'm pretty sure I had a copy of this, but Deadpool number 51, second print. So this was like a $3 book, and I was like, kind of like, I'll just keep on adding to the later prints on this run.
Not bad.
But yep, that's all I have for pickups that's around me to show. So
not bad, brother. Nice pickups, dude.
Last item. I finally got the Disney.
Yes. That is so sick, bro.
The Chinese Zodiac card. I was born on the year of the tiger, so for me to actually get the Zodiac, so these are limited to 666. Not satanic in the Chinese culture. It means for good fortune. So this is 636 out of 666.
Beautiful,
but
dude.
You know, we live in America, so I love the 666 part to it also.
Yeah, dude. I love that set, dude. The Zodiac cards in there, and there's another couple cards. I love the stamp cards. I don't know if they're gonna drop soon, but I think that eventually they'll drop a little bit, and that's when I'm gonna pick mine up. I think when more Disney stuff drops.
I just I mean, because we talked about it before a podcast or afterwards, and I noticed I had won. Like I just put in the max bid, and I was like, kind of like, oh, it's already up at that point. I'm not gonna win. Someone's gonna keep on like adding more bids to it and all that, and it went way below what the last 3 or 4 had sold for, and I was surprised I won it. So
not bad.
I'm happy.
Yeah, that's fucking dope.
Yeah.
All right, you guys. I want to say thank you to everybody that hung around till the end. Make sure you guys check out all the links below. I also have some interesting stuff here. If you guys check out the links in the description, you'll find a link to my link tree. And if you guys go to the link tree here and you click this Bogcast or 2023 Best of the Valley Reader's Choice ballot, it will take you to a link to vote for the Bogcast. I'll show you how easy it is to vote. Just do this. Put in my zip like that, and I vote. I hit submit, and then I vote every day because obviously I hope we win it. If you guys get a chance, please go and vote for the Bogcast for Best of the Valley magazine. It's the podcast I do with my best friend every Thursday night live on YouTube and Rumble and Twitter. So you guys can watch us there. And if you guys ever want to call in to any of those shows, you're more than welcome to do so. We just did episode 200 on May the 4th, where we talked about our love for Star Wars and our trek to the Celebration 4 and for the 30th anniversary of Star Wars, and how big of Star Wars geeks we were. So go check out that episode. It's a special episode. 200 episodes is a pretty cool thing to hit for us, and it's a fun show if you like talking about stand-up comedy, funny TikTok videos, fringe topics like UFOs and conspiracy theories. We had some really good UFO talk this week. So go check it out. This is the Bogcast. Please vote for it for Best of the Valley 2023. And also, you guys, if you want to help us out and you're not subbed up, please sub up. That really is one of the best ways to help us, and hit those thumbs up. Thank you to everybody that watches with us live. If you don't catch this live, you miss out on the great music before the show. If you want to check out that music, there is a playlist, a Spotify playlist below for Beyond Wednesdays. All the songs that I play before every show. Usually play 3 songs before every show, and every song plus more are added to the list every week. And you only get to see those if you catch it live. And, of course, thank you to Funhouse for calling in tonight, being the first ever caller on our live call-in section. If you guys ever want to call in live to the show to express your opinion on any topic in you can be excited, just don't be a douchebag, or you'll get the dial tone. But if you want to call in and express your opinion on something, I'm always open-minded to those opinions. So let's hear it. For any show I'm on, you could do that. I don't think we were going to do it on the Hot 10, but we'll do it on our Wednesday night show, our Saturday night show, and the Bogcast. So that being said, thanks to everybody for hanging out with us, and we'll catch you later. Adios.